What's up, my dudes? Welcome to the Vigorous Q&A, and this is going to be the last one for a while because I'm getting increasingly busy leading up to the birth of my daughter and all the stuff that I have been procrastinating about for the last couple of years. But I'll explain it a little bit later on. Let's first go into what we've done so far last week and what's coming up, what you can expect the next couple of weeks on the Vigorous Steve YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe to the Clip channel. We're almost at 2,000, or I think, yeah, 2,700 subscribers now. I'd like to get that up to 100,000. It would be nice. So make the pivot, right? Come from here to the Vigorous Clips channel where all of the long and very lengthy and very boring and very not repetitive, it's all good, but all the very lengthy deep dives have been chopped up for your viewing pleasure. So it's only 10-minute, maybe 15-minute segments. And then you can watch it a little bit easier, so to say. So 2 videos per day, and then soon we might ramp it up to 3 videos per day. So subscribe there. It's a link down below. The deep dive poll is still up, but it looks like Nandrolone is in the running. So Nandrolone, we're going to do the deep dive first. That's pretty much done scripting. Unfortunately, with a lot of work that is coming up, it might take a little bit longer than you guys expect. So when is the Nandrolone video done? It's done when it's done, but it's pending in the first round, right? And then we'll do the BDNF and some other stuff. So yeah, just give me some time because I got a lot of other stuff to do the next couple of weeks, unfortunately. Let's see, this week we had the Trenbolone case report study. It was a lot of fun to read that one. I laughed hysterically while recording that video. And we finally got the medical insert from Trenbolone, from Parabolan, hell yes. So Anthony, an avid connoisseur of steroid paraphernalia, apparently had a box of Parabolan laying around with the medical insert. And then it turns out at the back of the medical insert, there was absolutely nothing exciting. So I felt a little bit disappointed when I saw it. Like, you get it in French, obviously, so I ran it through the translation software. And Noor, one of my former coaching clients, who translated back in the day before these chat GPTs and perplexities were out there to help you with the translation. And then so I put all of that together. I tidied it up a little bit. And then the PDF of the French medical insert for Parabolan from Necma Laboratories is now available as a PDF download from my Dropbox, and the video linked down below. So that's pretty cool. I'm still looking out for the Masterone medical insert. And if anybody has that, it would be great to see if there's any citations in there regarding anabolism. Because, well, I might have found something that shows that Masterone is anabolic. We'll make a video about that, don't you worry. Let's see, GC1 Sobetirome deep dive is recorded. I wanted to drop it last week, but my editor couldn't get it done, so we'll drop that next week. The Anabolic Roundtable, I wanted to record that last Wednesday, and then we had a power outage. We had a power outage the whole day, so I sat in a house without electricity, without fucking lights, without air conditioning, sweating my fucking tits off. And then literally 1 hour before the Anabolic Roundtable was supposed to be recorded, the power turned on. So I'm like, yes, I'm going to prepare. Turned all the air conditionings on, and then this air conditioning didn't work. I'm like, what the fuck? So I tried to fix it for 30 minutes. Didn't work, and I'm still sweating profusely. Like, this is the only room in the house that's not air conditioned at the time because the air conditioning doesn't work. So I'm sweating profusely, get increasingly frustrated, and then 10 minutes before we started, I'm like, guys, it's not going to happen today. So we'll do that next week, next Friday. So it's only a couple days from now. That will be the 1-year anniversary of the Anabolic Roundtable. Can't believe it's already been 1 year. Let's see, the YK11 oral versus sublingual versus injectable experiment has ended. I ended at today. Today was the last injection of the injectable YK11. I did my blood work this morning, a day early, but tomorrow I have to drive car. Yeah, we'll explain it a little bit later. So I did the blood work today. I already got it back. Estradiol went down a little bit, but most of the other blood work parameters actually look good. So I'll just make a quick before and after pictures, the diet, and the update that I got from epicatogen. And luckily, my inflammatory markers, unlike with epicatogen, were not completely fucked. I still don't know why, but with epicatogen, blood work parameters, CRP, in the trash, and then an injectable YK11, just gains upon gains, baby. So that will be dropping next week. And then we'll start with the Follistatin experiment, which will be 1 milligram Follistatin 344 pre-workout for 14 days. Yeah, let's see if I get full-blown heart enlargement. Fingers crossed that that's not going to happen. And then after that, TRT is safe. I'm scripting for that. The BDNF deep dive, I started scripting. And then I realized that exercise also increases brain-derived neurotrophic factor, and that's so extensively studied that there's like 12 review papers. Fuck my life, man. And review papers have 130 citations each. So training increases brain-derived neurotrophic factor quite dramatically, especially when you combine it with curcumin. Don't worry, we'll discuss that in the deep dive. Curcumin separately and training separately is not as effective as combining curcumin with training together regarding the increase in brain-derived neurotrophic factor. Who would have thought? So yeah, we're working on that. And then before that, I'll drop the Nandrolone deep dive because that's pending first in the queue. Then we got a data deep dive, tirzepatide deep dive, bath methane, methylene blue, mitochondrial support stack. Fuckload of shit to do and not enough time, unfortunately. So expect like one video per week and then maybe a podcast. I'll do my best for last fucking time. The injury and surgery recovery protocol is linked down below. If you ask me on this live chat, I'll ban you for life. I've done enough content like that. Okay. So that's all linked down below. I'll put it in the pinned comment as soon as we're done here. So why we're going to do the last figures Q&A today. Main reason is I want my Saturday back. I've been doing this Q&A for 3 years now, and then I had about a 1 year break in 2022, I think. A 1 year break, and then 22, 23, 24, now 25, and 21, and even 20. I think I've been doing the Q&A for, let's say, 4 years in total. And I haven't really missed, Q&As unless I went out, with friends or I went out on holiday. So I think I've done about 200 episodes. About 100 are still live on this YouTube channel. I had to delete a couple old ones because they were subpar, or I referenced AA and MA and all the sponsors a little bit too freely. So I didn't want to get my channel banned, obviously, when, Think Big got banned and, Mark Bell's podcast got banned after mentioning some of the gray area peptide websites. So I just wiped all of those podcasts off the internet, unfortunately. But don't worry, the questions that were lost were exactly the same as the questions that have been asked recently. So you guys didn't miss anything, or you guys didn't lose anything, because the questions are the same every week. So I've been doing this every Saturday since, and I've turned down so many invitations of stuff to do. And obviously, since it's Saturday, I'm working 6 days a week, and I have done so since I was, I think, 15, 16 years old. I've always worked, and now it's kind of time to take a step back. Now, I initially wanted to continue until my daughter was born, let's say a couple weeks from now, but I'm just running out of time, and I can use this time a lot better than answering the same questions every single week. So hopefully you guys learned something. Hopefully you guys know how to use the search function, because literally every question that you asked, I have a deep dive about. I know you guys are lazy and would rather just pay $5 to $10 to have me give you that answer personalized for you, but literally every question that has been asked, I have a video about, and all you have to do is use the search function. So I think it's a time to throw in the towel for now, so I can focus a little bit more on stuff that I've been procrastinating about. I've been procrastinating about getting my driver's license. I've lost my driver's license since I moved to Thailand because I just didn't extend it. And since taxis are so cheap and private transport is very, very affordable, I just let other people drive while I was doing work, right? Coaching clients or, I don't know, researching stuff. So you drive to patio for 2 hours and I'm on my phone reading scientific papers. It's more effective that way, but I wouldn't trust my pregnant wife soon to give birth in a taxi or even private transport, and especially not my daughter in a taxi or private transport. So I'm going to have to man the fuck up, get my own driver's license again and do some lessons and buy a car. So that's all pending, and it takes time. And unfortunately, unfortunately, those driving lessons, they start at 9 o'clock in the morning. But you guys know that I wake up at 12 to 4 to service the Western hemisphere, basically, the Western side, Europe and America. That's where most of my consultations take place. So I've been doing that, waking up at 12 and going to bed at 4, and that's worked very, very well. But if you have to go get your driver's license and also need to get some license, some lessons for my motorbike, because I bought a BMW R 1250 RT, and that's shift. And I haven't used a shift motorbike in a very long time, so I did a test drive on the BMW, and it went okay. But dropping like $40,000 on a BMW motorbike that's shifting and not really feeling comfortable shifting because I haven't done that in a while. I think I need some lessons there as well. So I'll get some lessons for the motorbike. I'll get some lessons for the car. And now we're talking about 3 weeks of just doing that full time. So that, yeah, unfortunately, that just takes preference. And it also means I have to wake up fucking early. And I can't do this whole time zone shifting back and forth on a Saturday evening when I'm staying up to like, well, because usually I do this for 2.5 hours, right? And then, you know, you're a little bit wired afterwards. Obviously, I took some nootropics so I could talk super fast and give you guys the right answers. And then it's 4 o'clock in the morning. And then the next, like tomorrow, I have to drive at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Tomorrow I start, so I have to wake up at 11. So tonight's sleep's already going to be fucked. And then other days, it's going to be like 8 or 9 a.m. I'm not going to go back and forth, guys. I'm not going to do it. And then by the time I get my driver's license and the cars and the motorbikes, then it's pretty much baby time. And then, well, I just need to be on daddy duty, even Saturday night. You know, when you guys want to ask me questions, I'm just, I want my wife to sleep and I'll be on daddy duty, just watching the baby sleep, that kind of stuff. So it's kind of time to preemptively discontinue this. Will I be back if I have time on Saturday? Sure. But for now, just don't count on it. I'm not even sure if I could do this monthly because, you know, I talked with a lot of new parents, like Chase, for example. He was doing a boatload of live streams, right? And then at one point he disappeared because he's just too busy with the baby, man, and other business ventures. And you know, even though you guys send me a boatload of super chats, it's probably the least lucrative thing that I can spend my time on. So the figures Q&A takes about what 10 hours a month, right? 2.5 hours most weekends, so 4 or 5 weekends out of the month. And for that, with the memberships, so let's just talk business. Let's keep it real here. With the memberships, I got about 150 members, so that's $10 a pop, $1,500, but YouTube keeps 45% of that. So let's say it's, what is that, $1,000? And then with the super chats, it's another $1,000. It's $2,000, give or take. And 10 hours for $2,000, it's not something that I get out of bed for. Now, I do enjoy most of the podcasts. There's some retard questions in here and there, but most of the time I enjoy myself. But yeah, I just can spend my time a lot better than I do answering the same questions every single weekend. So we're going to have to throw in the towel for now. That is my main reason. And then once time frees up, which I have no idea when, what's going to happen. This is my first time turning into a parent. I have no idea how much free time I'm going to have. And I really want to go back to a 9 to 5. You know, so I can actually, instead of like, I can't do this because I have to work. It's fuck the work, man. Fuck the work. I got enough subscribers. I make enough money. I got enough saved. I was very smart with my money. So, you know, instead of pumping out videos, I think over the last couple of years, I've proven my point that I'm pretty fucking good at what I do. And it's nobody else who does what I do, deep dive and content wise. And until somebody steps up to place, I have basically a competition of one. That's me. You know? So I'm not too worried. The money has been very, very, you know, coming in very, very well. But it's just time to take a step back now and focus on other things because I've been procrastinating on things. You guys have no idea. All for that reason. I gotta make another video, bro. I gotta do more research. I gotta read 900 studies about Trenbolone. All right, so that's the reasoning. I'm sure you guys are disappointed, but hey, I did a lot of disappointing things, and get used to it. Let's start answering some questions. I heard you talk about it. Oh, wait. We gotta do the fucking the YouTube disclaimer. There you go. Now I can say what I want. Robin T, I heard you talk about Ezetimibe years ago, but I haven't heard of you speak it since. I literally talk about it during every blood work video, every time cholesterol comes up, every time somebody needs to manage their lipids, I talk about Ezetimibe. So you either haven't been paying attention or you got cholesterol in your ears. Maybe. Do you still recommend it? Yes. And if so, why it's not on your contra of source list? It should be there, and if it's not there, it's because I removed a source recently, or I redid their source list and they took Ezetimibe off. So I'll see if I can add it. But if you go through the sources like PCT, they should have it, and otherwise AP should have it. AP is coming out with a new website reasonably soon, so I'll index his website. As well, he has Ezetimibe. And 24, they've just been, their communication has been shit. So I took them off until they can sort their shit out. Because I don't want to be the one like, I didn't hear back from them for 4 weeks. And then I have to, in between. And then another guy comes to me, I didn't hear back, or didn't get order confirmation, or didn't get tracking details. And before you know it, I'm, for a little bit of commission, I'm playing in between help desk. I don't want to do that. So until they sort their shit out, I cannot not promote it. And I think maybe they're the one that sold the Ezetimibe. So, and if you don't know what the abbreviations are, then, well, you can find that on the source list. Steve Allen, supplements like citrus bergamot, astragalus root extract, and TUDCA, do you take these year-round or cycle them? I take them year-round because I'm on cycle year-round, whether that's low dosages or high dosages. Right? TRT is still a part of a cycle that's low, that's cruising. So the cycle is high and low and changes. And so I take citrus bergamot, astragalus root extract, and TUDCA year-round, albeit at various dosages. Astragalus is usually 3 grams while cruising. Citrus bergamot about 1 gram while cruising, and TUDCA is about 500 milligrams while cruising. And then citrus bergamot I keep the same, but then I add the TUDCA in when I go to a full-blown steroid blast at various dosages. Astragalus root might go up to 5-6 grams, and TUDCA might go up to 1,000 milligrams, so 1 gram. Now, recently I took the citrus bergamot out and replaced it for Amla, Indian gooseberry, AMLA, to see what would happen. And my lipids look exactly the same as before on citrus bergamot. So next I'm going to add in the citrus bergamot with the AMLA and then see if I get more of a suppressive effect. So it seems that citrus bergamot and AMLA are pretty much just as effective, switching from epicatogen to YK11, even though YK11 should make my lipids worse, but I'll discuss that in the deep dive when I start comparing all of the blood work results and different protocols to see how much of a dramatic change it made. I literally got my blood work back like 6 hours ago. I just had a quick glance. I was like, oh, I'm not dying. So we're in the green. Alpha oscillator. I'm young and intelligent. That's what young and dumb people say, but that's fine. I'm young and intelligent. Any tips from Steve how to actually get going starting a business? I lack the confidence. So if you're intelligent, you shouldn't lack confidence. What the fuck are you talking about? Thinking my efforts are pointless. If you're young and intelligent, you shouldn't lack confidence. Intelligent people have confidence. So you don't make sense because you're young. Start somewhere. Learn as much about business as you can and grind and grind and grind and grind and grind until you have 6 or 7 figures. That's what I did. It's fucking grind. And then you can discontinue revenue streams that are like, a couple $1,000s a month. We're like, it's not really worth it. This affiliate pays me $2,000, but it's not worth the hassle. Just let them go. But until you're at that point, you just fucking hustle. And you don't even think about it. I lack confidence. Don't be a bitch. Just fucking get started. And that's what I did, man. I fucking got started and I didn't quit until I had 6 figures. And do you make mistakes? Sure. Will you fail? Sure. The people who actually fail are the people who never start or the people who quit. Those are the bitches. Those are the losers. Those are the suckers that go to Bali, become a digital nomad and live on $1,500 a month. You should be making that in an hour. That's how business works. That's how men handle business. I'm going to Bali. I'm going to live on $2,000 a month. Shut the fuck up, man. I've let go $2,000 a month from like 10 different sources and it doesn't faze me. That's real business. That's real fucking business where you go smoke cigars and drink expensive whiskeys and it doesn't fucking matter how much you spent in a night. Now, till you get to that point, you're going to have to fucking grind. And if you lack confidence, you build that through getting your first income. Basically, when you make your first $100, you prove to yourself that you can make it. That first $100 is key. And you don't stop grinding until you make that first $100. Thinking my efforts are pointless. Once you get that first $100, your efforts are not pointless. You've made $100 by yourself, and that's more than people that are employed can say. I have to wait for somebody to give me instructions, and then at the end of the month, I get $100 or $5,000 as a salary, for example, and then The tax man is like, we'll take 30 to 50% of that, bitch. Give it to me. So if you're really intelligent, start, don't stop until you get the confidence from your first sale. And efforts are never pointless. Look around you. People who quit, people who don't start, those people are pointless. They can scrub the floors, they can take care of the trash, they can, and all these mediocre jobs that anybody could do basically. But if you want to be an outlier, if you want to be successful, you fucking start and you're relentless and you don't fucking quit. And when life throws shit at you, you just keep going and with a smile. It's that simple, man. That's why business isn't for everybody, because not everybody can put that much effort into it. Or when you get sued, or when you lose 100K, or whatever, right? Not everybody is ready for that. So if you're intelligent, you should be ready for that. All right, next one. Owen Klein. Hey, 2 years ago, I lost 150 pounds and had some bad loose skin. Apron belly, but still abs. 35 milligrams GHK copper. What can I expect in 6 to 9 months? A GHK deep dive. That's very low on the priority list. But for some people, they say that it tightens their skin. I never noticed that. I have pretty loose skin. I got this horrible, quarter Ukrainian genetics where everything just looks flabby. I remember looking at my grandma when, we all went to the beach and her skin was just like fucking saggy as shit. And she didn't drink, didn't smoke. She ate pretty healthy. Just, piece of meat, some potatoes, a carb source, and a vegetable source. Some healthy fats. She ate very, very good in her life. Her skin is just fucking loose, and I was like, "Fuck, man, is it gonna happen to me?" And now it's happening. So some people say that GHK copper helps. 5 milligrams per day. Run it for 6 to 9 months. See what happens. Because for some people it works and for other people it doesn't. And the only real way of knowing is if you just keep at it. That's it, keep supplementing with collagen to kind of really provide the interconnection between the collagen fibers and the various elastin fibers, and then fingers crossed over a while it gets better. But some people are just not meant to have tight skin like I have, or other. Like what Mike Israel just he dieted his socks off, tried every fucking drug under the sun, and still did surgery. So, but GHK copper is cheaper and probably less invasive than surgery. So give it a try. I notice you don't have AA and MA in your contra. It's not there, man. What are you talking about? They're both there. They're both. Maybe YK11 is not there because I didn't index it, because they keep changing their products. I cannot possibly every single day update the product list. Guys, use a little bit of common sense. If I mention YK11 and I mention AA and MA, just go to their website, have a look, and then use the code. All right? There's no reason why it's not. The reason why it's not indexed is because I can't possibly keep indexing every single page that they produce, because they keep adding products. Products go out of stock. Products are discontinued. Some products I don't agree with, like BAM15 DNP, or products that contain ethyl oleate. All right, so those I don't index, but just use a little bit of common sense. If you don't see a particular product there, just go to the website and you'll see it there. And if it's, if I don't specifically mention, like, dude, I'm talking about YK11 the whole fucking time, I'm taking it myself. Of course, it's okay. I've used MA injectable YK11 for this experiment. Fucking good. Minimal post-injection pain. And, what the fuck, dude? Fucking dry, super draw-like gains. Look at this shit. Would you recommend the same dosing protocol for YK11 as you did for oral? Yes, of course, oral, sublingual, and injectable is going to be different effects, because oral allegedly has low bioavailability. Sublingual is basically like an injection, because everything goes sublingual into the bloodstream, albeit direct, so you get faster metabolism as well. And then injectable goes into a depot, so you have a little bit of a slower release, but it's made in MCT oil, and that absorbs in 1 to 2 hours. So I took all the injectable or sublingual YK11 about an hour pre-workout, and injectable, again, still a lot better than sublingual. So I like 30 milligrams. 30 milligrams injectable YK11 feels like 30 milligrams oral Superdrol without the liver toxicity and the central nervous system fatigue. So I got fucking strong. I did PRs left and right. I literally did like maximum effort besides pressing exercises for quads because I still did that surgery and I'm a little bit scared. My lower leg. So I did maybe 6 plates instead of 8. I tried to do 7 plates one time and that did not feel right. So I did maybe 6 plates on a leg press instead of 8, 9. And but yesterday I did stiff leg deadlifts with like 65 kilos dumbbells, so that was pretty heavy. And I think the most I ever gotten was 70 kilos, so that's pretty fucking close. And incline dumbbell press 50 kilos for good reps. Everything else I'm strong shit. So and that happened within 2 weeks. So yeah, I really like injectable YK11. Wish I tried it sooner, but hey, better late than never, right? Adrian Chan Fitness asks, hey Steve, thank you for all that you put into your weekly Q&A. I'm certainly getting a lot of knowledge and learned a lot from it. Really appreciate it. My pleasure, bro. It was good to meet you last week or 2 weeks ago in Bangkok. My last question is for you regarding blood glucose readings post-meal. Is there a range to aim for 1 to 2 hours post-meal that would indicate that you're in an optimal spot for burning fat? That's a little bit difficult because, of course, meals are all different. And even if your blood glucose is 130 milligrams per deciliter, it doesn't mean that you're not burning fat. Might you not liberate fat? Because your insulin levels are obviously, when your blood glucose levels are up, then your insulin secretion is up as well. So I'd rather have insulin secretion low through a ketogenic diet, or when you take exogenous insulin, you bring that glucose down to about, let's say 80 to 100 milligrams per deciliter. Not that the 100 milligrams per deciliter is like the cutoff point between lipolysis and fat loss and that kind of stuff. But it seems that keeping it a little bit lower, and again, in the caloric deficit, is more favorable for lipolysis and more favorable for fat loss in the bigger picture, again, because your carbohydrates are also restricted at that time. So if you go in the off season and you use 80 milligram or 80 IUs of Lantus to keep your blood glucose below 100 milligrams per deciliter, but you're eating in a caloric surplus, obviously you're not going to burn any fat. Let's see. Sometimes when reading food shoot up 126 to 140 milligrams per deciliter, so that's probably from eating rice. Switch to potatoes 60 to 90 minutes after eating. Also, should the readings go below 100 milligrams per deciliter before the next meal to stay insulin sensitive? No, not necessarily. Again, glucose in the bloodstream does not necessarily mean insulin sensitivity is bad or good. What matters is GLUT4 translocation in response to insulin and having not fully saturated glycogen stores in skeletal muscle. So if you have a lot of triglycerides or a lot of glycogen or both in skeletal muscle, then GLUT4 translocation is not optimal in the presence of insulin. You can mitigate that by going to the gym and training hard, depleting some of the glycogen, depleting some of the intramuscular triglycerides, and then promoting GLUT4 translocation to the membrane, even without insulin. This is how you stay sensitive, by doing fasted cardio and a workout a little bit later in the day. So you have fasted cardio 3 meals, workout 3 meals, and you're fine. You know, last meal of the day, you don't have any carbs. Because when you're laying on your fucking ass, then obviously you don't need carbohydrates. You should get those in meal 1 to 5. And yeah, even if you're that high, you could still be insulin sensitive if it is a short duration of time. So again, you have to look at the entire total picture, but 140 is a little bit high. And if that's the case, maybe add a little bit of fat to your diet or switch the carb sources around. Like fat to slow the gastric emptying, or vegetables to your diet to slow the gastric emptying. And then your glucose should be below 130, man. So, or you'll reduce the carbs, spread it around a little bit. It's I've never seen it that high, but for me, I do a ketogenic diet. That's the way I like it, with insulin. Don't do what I do though. Big Steve, yeah, I wanted to remind you of the tier list on performance enhancing drugs. You stopped the EPO and minosyl tripyrophosphate. I'm not sure where you said tromethamine afterwards, but what would the list be? And congratulations on the baby, daughter on the way. What about data? It seems that ATTP takes a crown, or ITPP takes a crown as the overall best. So let me see. I sent him the entire list of the endurance, and then he only asked about ITPP or data. So I think data is A tier, not S tier, even though I like data a lot, simply because at higher dosages, data can make you a little bit dizzy. So up to 100 milligrams sub-Q or intramuscular, you really get that boost of energy during the workout. And then if you go to 200 milligrams, oh man, it feel a little bit funky, man. Fuck. So that's why the full potential of data I've never experienced. Like you can go to, what was it, 2 milligrams per 1 kilogram of body weight. So I'm about 103 kilos right now. Legs really took a beating, but it is what it is. Should be 106, 1.5 kilos extra per quad, but it's not gonna happen, man. Getting too old. So 200 milligrams is a little bit too much, and that makes workout, like you stuck your head in the oven. That's how you feel dizzy. So I sent him a list of all the drugs. So let me just list everything that's A tier and S tier, because in the member group, I put a lot more compounds in there, just because since this is going to be the last one. Let's see. Altitude masks, living at high altitude, hyperbaric altitude chamber. I would say that that's A tier. Micronutrients, B tier. It's A tier because you need it. Pico-2, C tier. Methylene blue, S tier. Myonosyl tripyrophosphate, S tier. Boldenone, methanolone enanthate, methanol acetate, oxymethylone, C tier. Erythropoietin, S tier. And then the rest like methoxy, polyethylene glycol, epoetin beta, dorpropoietin alpha, all S tier. And then the rest like mitapivat and filgotrem I've never used or recommended or heard anybody use. So, or maybe talked to a couple people that used it, but said, helped, but not that much. Something to look into. Lactate removing compounds, injectable carnosine, S tier. Sodium bicarbonate, B tier. Tromethamine, A tier. Carbohydrate metabolism optimizing compounds, intra-workout carbs, glycerol, electrolyte formulas. That's all okay. You need it. Mildronate, A tier. Insulin, S tier. IGF-1, C tier. ICAR, S tier. Diisopropylamine dichloroacetate data, S tier. Fatty acid metabolism optimizing compounds, intra-workout stuff like MCTs, beta-hydroxybutyrate, salts, glycerol, electrolytes, etc. You have to take it. So if you want to stay fatty acid, optimized. L-carnitine L-tartrate, injectable version, I would say A tier. Injectable MIG blends, A tier. Cardarine, S tier. ICAR, S tier. Salbutamol, clenbuterol, mirabegron, B tier. Mitochondrial function, ATP synthesis enhancing compounds. I'm just going to do the S tiers here. Ubiquinol, methylene blue, SLUPP332, MOTC, Cardarine, indirectly, data. Hypoxin, let's see, is B tier. And then elameprotide, SS31. I wasn't too sold on. And some of the other mitochondrial compounds, even epicathogen. I can't say that it did anything for mitochondrial function. Endurance enhancing, performance enhancing drugs, turinabol, bemetil, amoxicillin, trimetazidine. I think trimetazidine is A tier, and amoxicillin is A tier, bemetil is B tier, turinabol D tier. Oh, so how many people are going to be upset in the chat right now? Endurance enhancing adaptogens, cordyceps, A tier, and that's about it. All right, don't ask me again. Benjamin asks, thoughts on switching from all pharma Genotropin to Omnitrope, Geno 2.5 IUs or 2.5 US dollars per unit and Omnitrope 1.6 US dollars per unit. Is Omnitrope really that worse? Now I've tried both, and both there's something to say for it. Just go with the best deal, man. I've had great results. Unless you're competing and you really need Serostim. Like Serostim is like the best fucking GH out there. I've never used it, but talking to Kurt, talking to Chase, and seeing how full and round and bubbly and fucking jacked and sexy they look, I'd have to agree that Serostim is the best. But for everybody else, I would go with, I've used Omnitrope so many times, like pay like $1.5 per unit. It's running like 4 to 6 units per day. I got an Ingenila experiment coming up, so that's going to be interesting. But just go with the best deal, man. Just go with the best deal. And Genotropin, I think it's discontinued. So is the Genotropin even real? They switched to Ingenila. If it's coming from Turkey and it's Genotropin, it's probably fake. Be careful. Andrew Pham asks, not a PED question. Thank you for all your knowledge, Steve. I'm going to miss the Q&As. Been a member for 23 months now, and I've learned so much ever since I found you via More Plates, More Dates, and Bio Bros with Derek and Leo. In the future, when life is less hectic, have you considered a members-only Discord server for members to discuss bodybuilding PED questions and ask you questions? And since it's Discord format, less repetitive questions, I doubt it, but since people will be able to search, people don't search anymore, man. It's too much effort. Through the chat logs for similar questions, might free up some more time while still providing a stable revenue stream for memberships. I believe Chase, my God, this is a wall of text. I believe Chase is a Discord similar format with higher tier memberships for different levels of access. I wouldn't mind helping set up a Discord or being a mod. Yeah, so we're working on something like that. I'm working on some sort of member site. I just want to have content first. So I'm working on all of the steroid profiles, right? I know I did deep dives here on the YouTube channel, but there's a lot more scientific evidence to discuss. So when I say deep, I mean fucking deep. The testosterone article is 250 pages. The Nandrolone article is close to 300 pages. The Winstrol article is 100 pages. And so it will be, I want to have that full for all of the steroids because that's what most people are interested in. Then we'll open up that up. When that's ready, I'm not really sure. I'm working as much as I can and want to, but it'll be ready when it's ready. And when it's ready, you will never have to sign up to any other membership site ever again. It's that simple. I'll put everybody else out of business because it will have the best content. Now, obviously, it will be growing content, just like all the other membership websites. They're still adding in stuff. But I got a really good team that helps me produce content right now. And yeah. It will be really, really good. And, with all the stuff you expect, like sources and, discussions. But that's all in the making. And when we're recruiting more people, I'll let you know. Oh God, why is everything? Man, these chats. All right, here we are. Is something I want you to try. What is that? It's root beer. It's root beer. Ooh, it's so cloy and bubbly. It's so happy. Just like the Federation. You know what's weird about it? If you drink it long enough, you might even start to like it. Just like the Federation. Dude, you crack me up. If everybody was like you, Joshua, I'd do this live stream until the day I die every single day. Yes, root beer is very insidious. And again, if you drink enough of it, you might start to like it. And especially if you put some fucking vanilla ice cream in there so you get a root beer float. I mean, that's so coy and bubbly and happy and, insidious. Just like the Federation. Only fucking trickies will know. I live long and prosper. Hey Steve, I need to heal my tendons. Oh fuck, just joking. Not a PED question. What's your favorites? Ignore health and macros. Pastries, cake, ice cream, candy, chocolates, energy, drinks, alcohol, cocktail. Jesus Christ. Pastry. This pastry. Apple strudel. Does that count as a pastry with ice cream? Cake, cheesecake, 100%. Ice cream, Ben and Jerry's. Any flavor. Ben and Jerry's makes me hard. Candy, chocolates. Licorice, man. Licorice from Jamin. Can get me out of bed for that. Soda energy drink, a Gorilla Mind Energy, obviously. I don't really drink soda. Maybe a Coke Zero once in a while, but I like Gorilla Mind Energy. That's the only energy drink I drink. An alcohol cocktail. Anything over $50 for a double whiskey, I'm happy. Like a Vulan 16 years old? Hell yes. Make it a double. Macallan 12 years old double cask or 18 years old? Make it a double. Cocktail? I mean, there's so many that I've tried, man. Sangria, though, that's I have a week's in Bali. I drank a lot of sangria, and they're like, "Yeah, this you have the minimum spend like of 5 million or 3 million rupiah or something like that." And my wife's in drinking, so I'm drinking a whole fucking bottle of sangria over the day. Oh my god, excuse me, I shouldn't eat food this close to a Q&A. So I'm drinking this sangria, or I'm ordering the sangria, and ask them what kind of wine do you put in there. Red wine, white wine. Yeah, red wine, and it's from Indonesia. So I looked at the wine list. This is the most snobby thing to do. I look at the wine list and I select some Cabernet Sauvignon from Chile from like 1996. Expensive. So that brought the minimum up quite a bit. And I said, only want prime fruits. So my sangria ended up being 3 times the price is what they listed, but it was good. Yeah. I'm a raging fucking alcoholic inside. Benjamin, hey Steve, how many questions do we still have? Jesus Christ, I'm gonna have to skip over a few. It's been 40 minutes already. Hey Steve, a lot of CJC up in Morel, and my mom bought it and will not use it. I'll are using 3 IUs of Pharma HGH before bed. Would it be beneficial to use CJC up in Morel upon waking or before fasted cardio? No, I would switch that around. If you want to run through it all, I would run the CJC up in Morel before bed because you get a more pronounced growth hormone spike at night, and then run the 3 IUs Pharma upon waking. So you have 2 pulses during the day. Adrian asks, hey Steve, sorry, last question regarding injectable adenosine triphosphate. How much is the recommended dose and time before doing a photo shoot or stepping on stage to really enhance the pump? So we don't use adenosine triphosphate, we use adenosine monophosphate. That's a potent vasodilator. And then we're talking about 400 milligrams intramuscularly. So Synth, I'm sure you remember the source. Synth sells injectable AMP. Can we say their name? No, probably not. Probably not a good idea. And I think it's 10 milliliters at 40 milligrams 40 milligrams AMP per 1 milliliter. That's what we use. Now, that's for bodybuilders. So you shoot 5 milliliters injectable AMP per cheek about 3 to 4 hours before the photo shoot or stepping on stage. Then you heave like a fucking maniac. It's such a potent vasodilator that you're literally on for heaving for about 10 minutes. And then when the effects, took place, then you're full as a house. So I would start with 1 milliliter, 2 milliliters, and then build your way up as needed. You can only do it once. If you do it twice, you spill over. So you do it before prejudging or before a photo shoot, and then you're full as a fucking house, and your veins are, your whole body looks like a cock. Yeah, but it's injectable AMP, not ATP. David asks, soon to be Daddy Steve, thank you for all the endless wealth of knowledge and information and time invested into these Q&As. I've learned lots from your videos and live stream. If you're accepting parenting advice, sure, why not? From one girl dad to another, start practicing and becoming a master of girl hairstyles, ponytails, braids, and the like. It'll quickly become one of your most valuable things as a girl dad. All right. Yeah, well, I have to look into it because obviously I have zero fucking hair. But we'll look into all of that stuff. But I don't think there's a lot of rush because my daughter will be like 1 day old and then 2 days. So by the time she gets into ponytails and braids, she'll probably be like a couple years old. And then I have adequate time to kind of practice for that shit. Hopefully by the time she is into hairstyles, my son will also be born. And then I'll be a girl and boy dad. David also asks, not sure if you're able to make it to the live stream today, but I have 2 hopefully quick questions. I take Mirabegron once daily, 50 milligrams extended release prescribed, and thinking of spot injecting Helios. Will the combination be risky too much? No, I think that's fine. Like if you take 50 milligrams extended release Mirabegron that lasts, what was the half-life? 54 hours, 36 hours. So you don't get an acute effect. And the Helios, you get a dramatic acute effect, and I would limit it to maybe 20 micrograms clenbuterol and 1.5 or 2.5 milligrams yohimbine, depending on the formulation. Some formulations are 40 micrograms clenbuterol per 1 cc and then 5 milligrams yohimbine per 1 cc, but some are 3 milligrams yohimbine per 1 cc. So 20 micrograms, and you split that up. 10 micrograms, 10 micrograms, let's say it's in your lower chest, 10 micrograms clen, 10 micrograms clen, and 0.75 to 1.25 milligrams yohimbine with your mirabegron, and then 20 minutes later you go do your cardio. But the mirabegron will not be working yet. It's a Helios that does its thing. Last question. I don't remember you answered this already. Apologies if you have. I have 20 milliliter vials of cerebrolysine. I thought they only came at 2, 5, and 10. So did you make a typo for 2 milliliters or 10 milliliters? I don't think, are there 20 milliliters cerebrolysine vials? I just did a video, deep dive, right? 2, 5, 10. Can I transfer to a 30 ml? I think you meant 10 milliliter vials. Can I transfer to a 30 milliliter vial and store it in a drawer to run 5 milliliters per day without worrying about too much about degradation? I think it's what I did with those 10 milliliter vials. I just cracked them open and drew both 5 milliliters into 2 different ampules or 2 different syringes. Kept one in the fridge to keep it cold because it's peptide based. I like the temperature stable for peptides, and inject the other one. And then the next day, 24 hours later, I would inject the 5 milliliters I had left. So you don't need to transfer it like 10 or 3, 3 10 milliliter vials, transfer that to the 30 milliliter vial. Because the first injection is new, the second injection is the day after, so that should be okay. But then the third, fourth, fifth, sixth injection, that's almost a week later. I think that's a little bit too long. So yeah, crack open the 10 milliliters, split it up into 5 milliliter shots, like you planned. And then within 24 hours of opening it, you literally did 2 injections and you should be fine. Nox asks, I saw SR9009 is off your recent fat burning endurance stack. Yeah, I did a little bit more research, and it seems that it mostly helps with circadian rhythm. And in the animal model where SR9009 was shown to improve fat loss, those rats were sleep deprived. So you bring it back to normal circadian rhythm, and then the SR9009 promote a little bit of fat loss. So maybe if you're a shift worker, it has fat loss. And of course, back in the day when you do take stacks like that, you take SR9009 with cardarine, and then what is doing what. So as I did a little bit more research, I think cardarine is good for fat burning and endurance, and SR9009 is mostly there if you change continents and you need a reset in circadian rhythm. And then I would take maybe 20 milligrams SR9009 twice per day, morning and afternoon, with 50 milligrams modafinil in the morning to keep you awake, and then 3 days on that protocol, and you should be okay. Is there a benefit in combining it with SLU-PP332? No, I think we'll have minimal additional fat loss in that stack. Yeah. Knox also asks, for how long after rotator cuff surgery should I take BBC 157, TV500, and GHK copper if there's no point in taking more than 2 use of growth hormone for... I know you take it until you recover. I took it for about a month after the surgery. Is there no point in taking more than 2 use of growth hormone for surgery? It depends on how bad the surgery was. So if you had, like I did, like LASIK eye surgery, gynosurgery, liposuction surgery, and then I had the orthopedic plate removed. So I did 5 IUs of growth hormone per day because I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1 incision gives you 1 IU growth hormone. Take it like that. But my surgery was pretty invasive, man. I had screws drilled out of my bone. I had the orthopedic plate removed. I had an incision this long on my leg. I had incision in my fucking eye for the LASIK eye surgery. Then a laser shined in my eye on the cornea and into my eye to release the cornea from the eye. And then I had incision here and then drilling the fucking, the liposuction and the gyno surgery. So I went with 5 IUs of growth hormone. So it depends on rotator cuff surgery. Paul Barnett just had a rotator cuff surgery and a bicep reattachment surgery, and he's doing 5 IUs of growth hormone per day. So, why go small when you can just fucking throw the kitchen sink at it and heal really, really fast. All right, we'll just do some member questions in super chats because I'm way behind, obviously. Hey, Steve, last week I asked about the potassium being 5.1 millimoles per liter, 3.55 when before in for blood work to take. I took a scoop of electrolytes, which contains, okay, well, then obviously it's going to be, you need to check your potassium levels fasted. That's important. I take a scoop of this before fasted cardio and 2 scoops before I train. This has benefited my workouts greatly, but should I lower my intake? Now, if you take a scoop of electrolytes before you do blood work, obviously it's going to get skewed. You need to check your electrolytes fasted. It's not going to be harmful. I take 10,000 milligrams of potassium per day and about 5,000 to 6,000 milligrams of sodium per day. So don't worry about it, man. Dylan, what's up, bro? Hope you're doing well. Ex-client of yours here. Took a 2-year hiatus to focus on money. I'm back and binged 15 hours of your videos. The business is great now. I'm ready to get fucking huge. Congrats on the baby. Sending questions soon. All right. Cool. Good to hear that the 2-year hiatus paid off. The Zohan. Oh, no, it was, that's another movie. 56 years old. Gonna use your TRT video to design my own protocol. Are there any cons that I should know? If everything is discussed there. Everything is discussed there, buddy. Cons: high blood pressure, hair loss, gyno, water retention, insane libido, feeling like a fucking man again, being a rebel, anti-governmental protests, seeing through the bullshit, not finding your wife hot enough, wanting to fuck a girl half her age, getting in shape, making a fuckload of money, not giving a fuck, being yourself, spending your money on motorbikes and cigars. Yeah, man, a lot of risks. A lot of risks. Also, my sodium was out of the range. Yeah, that seems pretty normal. Should I, like, electrolytes are usually in range. If they're off, then your kidneys are fucked. So it's or you're taking something like telmisartan or Nabivol, which really has an overlapping effect. But I wouldn't worry about these numbers, man. I wouldn't. Your body is pretty good at regulating your electrolyte levels, unless you take medications that manipulate it, or your kidneys are blown out. Previously experiencing tender breast, you mean gyno? With estradiol at 45 and 1 month on raloxifene and drop tren and anadrol. Prolactin is now 238 milliliters per liter. Should I lower prolactin before reintroducing? So you didn't learn from your mistake, right? You had gyno before. Your estrogen went high, or your estrogen was normal, but your prolactin is high. You took a month of raloxifene and dropped the tren and anadrol. Now you want to add it back in? No, test Mastron Primo. That's it. I can't live without tren and anadrol. Then do the fucking gyno surgery. Steve, can I still develop gyno even though estradiol is in range? If so, how, why? Yeah, so that can happen if you have peripheral conversion of estrone into estradiol. So that doesn't show up in blood work, but the estrone goes into the nipple and then converts into estradiol there, and then the estradiol attaches to the estrogen receptors. That can happen. You can take anadrol, which allegedly interacts with the estrogen receptors. Your prolactin could be high. You could have progestogenic 19-nors like Trembolone, Nandrolone, Testosterone, and YK11, even though YK11, I haven't really seen any reports that it causes gyno. Right? These are all progestin-based or progestogenic-based that potentially could interact with the estrogen receptor or progesterone receptor. So, yeah, your estradiol could be in range, but then prolactin is high, or you have progestogenic signaling from anabolic steroids that interact with the progesterone receptor. And that means that you can still develop gyno. And sometimes estrone converts into estradiol, and then you don't see that in blood work, but you still get gyno. Gibson Chidwood, looking into getting a new bike myself. I really like the Ducati Diavolt car. Oh, man. So I want, and I really want to drive the Ducati XDFL V4. They don't have it yet. God, this bike, fuck, man. So I went to the Ducati dealer and I drove the regular DFL, but I want the XDFL. So are you talking about the DFL carbon or XDFL? Man, these bikes are, you just want to go 200 kilometers per hour on. But I'll settle for the BMW, man. That thing is like this wide. It literally feels like you have a gigantic penis that you're sitting on. And I feel a little bit naked on those sports bikes because you don't really have anything in front of you, so you just sit there and you see the road. And I never really liked that about the Kawasaki's or the Hondas, because you literally see the road. And you feel a little bit naked. Now it's good to go fast, but I rather want the touring bike. So I have an N-Max here, and I drove a couple X-Maxes and T-Maxes, when I rent those in other cities. And then you have always like a little bit of a display and then a little bit of a windshield in front of you. So you sit there, you feel like you're touring, like on a Harley Davidson. Harley Davidson's here's the nice ones are like 100K. So I could buy a car 40K and then a motorbike 40K, but I cannot justify spending 100K in just one fucking motorbike. It's I don't know. Well, let's start with the BMW first. If I really like it, then I can always drop 100K on a Harley Davidson. Like that CVO Road Glide CVO Road Glide. Oh man, I sat on it at the car show. Fuck man, that thing they literally feel like you're driving a limousine. It's like, oh, I tried every motorbike on the car show recently, and then I like the BMW R1250 RT and the CVO Road Glide from Harley Davidson. Oh man. They didn't have the Ducati, so I went to the Ducati dealership like 2 weeks ago, and but I didn't have the XDFL V4. I would buy that in a heartbeat. Yeah, thank God for crypto, man. Dylan, let's see, 5'11", 84 kilograms, 8% body fat, 300 test, 100 primo per week, goal 6% body fat hold until August. I want it to be 12 months, but needs to get done off-season, gyno, ACL surgery, time off drugs, wondering how to time it all. Do the gyno surgery and ACL surgery now. Do it now because if you go down to 6% body fat and hold until August, it's that for like it's summer and I want to look good on the beach purposes. Right? Timing really depends on how you spend your social time. So I kept procrastinating the gyno surgery and the leg surgery. And the gyno surgery is still not recovered, man. It's not, still got a little bit of scar tissue. It's a lot better than before, right? But I also did liposuction. Like in before it was like this much fat, and now it's like this much fat. Yeah, still I got a little bit, maybe a little bit more. So I still need to get leaner, obviously. So I would, if your goal is 6% body fat until August, and then you want to look large and in charge on the beach and fuck a lot of bitches, fine, I get it. Do the gyno surgery and ACL surgery as fast as possible, clean out, and then you start prepping to compete. So you got, let's see, 2 months, 4 to 6 months of recovery. So now you're 8 months in. Then you got 4 months left. It's not enough time. You got 4 months left to build your own size back. And dude, after ACL surgery, you don't have the confidence to start training like a fucking madman yet. That might take a year. So I would consider competing 24 months from now, not 12 months from now. It's too soon. You can compete and then you have to baby that surgery and not train 100%, and then you have weaker body parts and you're not competitive. Don't if you want to go compete, you should go all in. Gibson Chidwoods, how far are we behind now? Oh, only 45 minutes. Thoughts on using low dose, long acting growth hormones, still dose daily, to have consistently elevated growth hormone stacked with 5 to 10 IUs, decent underground growth hormone before bed, still giving you large balls and steep IUs. Never heard anybody try that before, but could make sense. Like, how many IUs of equivalent of somatrogen would you, or what, somato Ngenla, right? So I'll use 6 milligrams Ngenla, equaling about 10 IUs of growth hormone after your discount for the HCG subunit weight. It's like combining MK677 with, UGL growth hormone at 5 to 10 IUs. You'll probably be very watery. Will it be worth it in the long run? Sure. Sure, sure, sure. I know. I think the blood glucose issues and the water retention probably will prevent you from doing this long term. Yeah. All right. I'll keep my eye on it, but oh, here it is. Titrated up to 500 milligrams a test with an AI in the first cycle, planning on adding in a secondary anabolic for the next cycle, primo mastron. What would be a good starting dose for my secondary anabolic? 250 test and 250 primo or 250 mastron. So you start with the same dose because you get a synergistic effect. You get less bloat, less water retention because your estradiol should be in range. And then you take it from there. It can always increase later on. Ines, will growth hormone put you at greater risk of higher blood glucose if you have carbs right before or after the growth hormone dose? Yes. Should carbs be avoided near the growth hormone dose? Yes. I think that's ideal. Unless you're a fucking freak and your metabolism is absolutely insane. This doesn't matter. But judging by your picture, you know, you're not a freak. That's for sure. So if you take your growth hormone before bed, I would not have carbs with the last meal before bed. I mean, why would you take carbs before bed anyway? You know, take that around the workout. All right, super sticker, Slicing org. Which alien is that? Henry Carter, titrated up to 500 milligrams test without an AI. I just answered this. I just answered this, bro. Please tell me your thoughts on the Anavar and enclomiphene cycle. Man, I feel like banning this guy. And I'm going to be generous and not ban anybody today. What do you think about SS31? So I used this in the past 5 milligrams per day for 2 weeks, and I did not do anything in the bigger picture of the mitochondrial support stack that I was already on. So I felt it was a waste of money. I haven't really done the research on it much since then. I'll redo the SS1 or SS31 research, the elamipritides research when I work on the mitochondrial support stack redo video, but that might be weeks to months away based on all the other videos that I need to do and all the workload that I got coming up. Yeah, it will be a while away. So anecdotal of one, it didn't work for me. Too expensive to run it again. Hey brother, 2 milligrams of Remedix is said to reduce estradiol by 90%. Does it sound right? Yes, if you do that for natural individuals. I think that's for naturals, not for people who are enhanced. And I don't know, melanotan 2 was 0.5 milligrams daily, and then I'm not gonna do that, man. We don't have time for that. Hire a fucking coach. I'm not gonna do rate my physique here live. This is not what the Q&A is for. So thanks for your $20, but no. And thanks for all the great content for the diaper. Jesus Christ, I got a house full of diapers. Any reason why you would mix injectable YK11 with other oils for the week, or would it be a large negative to do the site enhancement style injections bilaterally? No, like the other injectables are not, or they have esters, right? So the injectable YK11, I would just take closer to the workout so you can maximize the anabolic signaling and the follistatin increase that comes afterwards. And so you have a myostatin blotting effect so you can recover better and grow better. And then the other injectables I would do in the morning. So yeah, I would inject myself with testosterone inhibitor in the morning and then YK11 about an hour before going to the gym. Steve, currently in prep. Every time I increase testosterone past my TRT dose, my sex drive always goes up almost instantly. Oh, well, sex drive almost goes instantly. Goes up or goes away? My sex drive always goes instant. I'm assuming it's going away. So if it's going away, testosterone 650 mass, 25 milligrams of Revine, 50 milligrams of Anavar AI doesn't change anything. Well, your test is too low. What do you expect? And you say your test past TRT dose. I mean, I think 250 milligrams testosterone enanthate is pretty close to a TRT dose, but it's a 650 mastrone and 25 milligrams per gram per day. and 50 milligrams Anavar per day. If that's what you're trying to tell me, because your message is very cryptic. How about you do 500 test and 500 mastrone? Fuck the Proviron, that's gay. Only gay people use Proviron. It doesn't do anything. Doesn't do anything anabolic. Crushes your SHBG, but the Anavar, the mastrone, and the testosterone will already crush your SHBG. And then on 500 test, 500 mastrone, and 25 milligrams Anavar, 50 milligrams is too high. If you run 50 milligrams Anavar, it's 100% sure that your Anavar is not legit. People in their right mind that train hard should not be able to run more than 25 milligrams of Anavar. But yeah, but no, shut the fuck up. 50 milligrams of Anavar is either not real or you're doing it wrong. Man, when I run 25 milligrams of Anavar per day, I'm locked up. Go check your estrogen levels. On this cycle, your estrogen was probably 0. And then obviously, obviously, if you have 0 estradiol, you have 0 sex drive. If I'm assuming that your sex drive goes and it doesn't go up or down. You didn't specify. So we're doing the best we can. MB, TRT for 3 years now, have twitching, weakness, pain in legs since February, now in arms, hands, and feet too. Doctor wants me to stop TRT, is saying myopathy from TRT. Never heard that, but he's a doctor and I'm not. EMG tests, spine, MRI, clean, TRT side effects. Sounds like myalgia. And maybe that's coming from cholesterol medications, but I don't know, dude. Like what you're telling me here over the internet, that sounds like you need to discuss that with a doctor, not with some random dude that talks about steroids on the internet that has never come into a scenario where men experience twitching, pain, weakness in legs and arms and hands and feet too. That sounds like a medical condition, and that's what we have doctors for. So I'm sorry I can't help you with that. I don't pretend to be a doctor. This is not something that I'm experienced with. So please talk with your doctor. If you're not happy with his answer, then find another doctor. There's plenty of doctors out there. John Furious, new member. Welcome to the Vigorous crew. Glad to be back. Quick growth hormone question. Are there any differences between pharma and generics in terms of substance structure, or is it just about quality, potency differences? Now, I think the amino acid sequence is exactly the same, but pharmaceutical has less impurities. It's 99.7% pure or less, more pure, 99%, 99.9%. And generics could be 80%, 90%, 95%, 97%. And again, it depends on how it comes back at Janoschik or some of these other third-party, analytic websites. So always make sure that if you go with generics, you check out what kind of lab results you get out of that. And then from the 0.3 to 3% impurities, you might get various side effects. That's the only difference. And the price, obviously. But off season, you can get away with generics. And then as you get leaner, it's probably better to use pharma because you're also on more gear. And pharma is just a little bit cleaner, so you can judge your conditioning a little bit better when you get leaner. And then you have less water retention, less side effects, because if you're on 50 milligrams Anadrol per day and 8 IU's growth hormone per day, that's basically, you could compare that being on 50 milligrams Dianabol per day and 10 IU's of UGL growth hormone or 15 IU's UGL generic growth hormone. And which of these, the Anadrol, the pharmaceutical Anadrol and the pharmaceutical growth hormone, or the Dianabol and the Chinese generics? Which one will make you hold more water, give you more side effects, give you carpal tunnel, give you water retention, give you moon phase, give you blood pressure issues, right? I think it's the generics. Have you considered NAD plus and glutathione deep dive? No, it's very low on the priority list. I can mix it in other content, but it's right. Deep dives are meant to drive affiliate sales. Nobody gives a shit about NAD plus or glutathione, man. I've introduced this like years ago, and nobody seems to give a shit. So, can't fucking help it, man. Lipids, insulin, ferritin are off. Fixed my diet. Added fasted cardio and deployed metformin, Jardion's, Ezetimibe, and Levilo. Levilo, don't know what that is. Numbers shifted down in just 20 days. Thanks for all the knowledge. Okay, that's good. That's good. You probably could have done that with the cardio and diet, you know, because cardio and diet fixes your lipids and your insulin and ferritin levels. Because it sounds like bad food and inflammation in your intestinal tract. So, but hey, if I think if it all improved already, I think you can take the metformin, Jardiance, and ezetimibe out, assuming you don't take steroids. If you take steroids, maybe keep the ezetimibe in, and then keep the diet and fasted cardio in, and keep that going. And then you'll see that living a healthy lifestyle, like I always preach here on this YouTube channel, can actually keep your blood work parameters quite intact without throwing the kitchen sink of drugs at it. I already answered this at the beginning, buddy. Thanks for the money. Steve, are there any indicators that you use to determine whether acne is being caused by androgens or by estrogens? That's difficult. I know you hear people say, I added in the Primo and I got acne on my shoulders and my arms, and then estrogens on the face and the back and the chest. I don't know. I think if you do subcutaneous microadministrations and your estradiol is in range, then you should not really get acne unless you eat a buckload of chocolate. So avoid the chocolate, daily microadministrations, keep your estrogen in range, and I think you should be okay. And otherwise, there's always Accutane, man. Low dose Accutane, 10 milligrams twice a week. Yeah, it is. It can fix a lot of problems. Thanks for all of the info, Steve. Looking forward to seeing the new membership website in the future. Yeah, give me some time. Give me some time. Ryan, I was considering running my first cycle of VAR. I'm currently on TRT. I almost banned you for that. I'm currently on TRT pills with enclomiphene. Sorry, dude. I'm not interested in answering your question. You take TRT pills and enclomiphene. I know exactly where you're getting that from. And then you want to add an Anavar for an oral only cycle. That's not what we do in this YouTube channel, bro. Thanks for the $10. I'll put it in my pocket. You just lost $10 because, well, you're doing it wrong. Real men inject. Real men fucking inject. They inseminate and they inject. Right? You take an injection and you give an injection. That's what real men do. They don't take oral shit. It's fucking pathetic. Take that shit out of here. I don't want to hear about it. Full blood work every 2 months, no matter how long of a cycle, amount, steroid combination, or oral health markers barely move. Blasting and cruising look identical. Is it genetic, or when do I know to come off? Yeah, that's very genetic. I know several guys who have the same genetic blessings, basically. They can literally blast their fucking socks off, and their blood work barely changes. You have what it takes to become an IFBB pro. Hopefully you have the genetic, structure and the work ethic and the financial backing to, get away with it and make a name for yourself. And otherwise enjoy it, man, because, if you're 20 or 25 or 30 years old and you still have perfect blood work, that might not be the case when you're 40 or 50. So enjoy it while it lasts. And while it's lasting, maximize it. Put on all the fucking juicy, saucy muscle mass that you can. But yeah, it's purely genetic, man. 99% of the people will not. I'm the same, and I've seen so much blood work, maybe 10,000 blood work at this point over the last 15 years, 20 years. And it's a very rare occurrence that everything is still good or good enough, regardless of how much shit you're using. So roll with it. Hello, what's the best method to avoid insulin resistance or diabetes while using 5-AU growth hormone or for injury repair? You don't have to worry about that. So the best method is to stop worrying, because you will not get insulin resistance or diabetes from 5-AU growth hormone per day for injury repair, which you're doing for a month at most. I've employed low carbs and retitrutide. Yeah, there's no chance of insulin resistance of diabetes. Any other advice? All the best. Have a great day. I want you to stand in front of the mirror and point the finger at yourself and stop and tell yourself, don't you fucking worry and don't ask these fucking questions because it doesn't make sense. This is not how the body works. If I'm doing low carb diet and taking retitrutide, then I will not get insulin resistance or full blown diabetes, even if it's genetically in my family. So chill the fuck out, bro. Thanks for the 10 pounds. Black licorice hits different. Exactly. how much this is the last one for a while. I explained it at the beginning of the video. Is powered cerebrolysin from... No, it's 60 milligrams, and I don't know what the composition is. And cerebrolysin is, what was it, 212.5 milligrams per 1 cc. So that means if you inject 5 milliliters, you get about 1,000 milligrams of this cerebrolysin cocktail. And that means what I feel is effective, 5 milligrams. So it's 1,000 divided by 60. 17 of those ampules, or of those vials. I would not touch that shit, man. I think they're just put something in there to start selling it. You know how China is, man. I mean, they see a buck to be made, but they don't understand the bigger picture. Also, for recovery and performance, is growth hormone better pre-sleep or upon waking? Do you get 2 pulses if natural production is still... Recovery and performance. I would say that taking it before bed is better. And then your nighttime growth hormone pulse might be diminished because your IGF-1 levels are elevated, obviously, from the first growth hormone injection that you took, blunting or sending negative feedback to your growth hormone pulse that occurs at night at, let's say, 3 a.m., if you sleep according to your circadian rhythm. But recovery and performance, recovery happens at night also. And performance during the day requires you to have lower body weight. And if you take your growth hormone before bed, you generally gain less additional body weight from water than you do when you take it during the day. So yeah, take 2 AUs, 3 AUs before bed, and shut the fuck up. All right, Eduardo, look at the purple super chat. Master Steve, ever noticed that the Arimidex cuts your libido more in compared to Aromasin? I haven't used the Arimidex in close to a decade. Thinking about getting back to low dose Primo along with TRT plus, but DHT and hairline, you know, thanks again for all the lives you made us. Okay. No, never noticed that. I think, I mean, if you take 0.5 milligram Arimidex versus 12.5 milligrams Aromasin a couple times per week, maybe the Arimidex is more potent than dropping your estradiol, and that's why your libido is a little bit worse. So do your blood work, add in the Primo. And if you're worried about your hair, then it's obviously just testosterone, maybe the Anabol. But, you know, sacrifices have to be made if you want to have good sex. My levels are all within range. Estradiol, total T, FSH, LH, SCPG, but my free testosterone is low and below normal. And I feel like crap. My sleep is okay and my diet is as well. What should I do? Watch the natty videos, because sleep is key. And SHBG you can bring down by eating more food, eating more carbohydrates, because insulin and growth hormone brings that down. If you are on a ketogenic diet, SHBG goes up because you need a little bit of insulin to bring that down. The problem is if you have a lot of carbohydrates, your metabolism also goes up. So your T3 goes up, and then T3 promotes more SHBG. So you can look into 3 milligrams, 6 milligrams, 12 milligrams boron per day to bring your SHBG down. And some people respond, well, this is one of the few cases where Provironment actually helps, 6.25 milligrams once or twice per day to bring your SHBG down. And in some people, that's not suppressive. Their LH and FSH is still within normal parameters. And Provironment was actually used as a fertility aid up to 150 milligrams per day up until the late 1980s or something. So might be worth to look into. So if you want to bring your SHBG down, boron, high carb diet, and Proviron. That's all you can do. That's all you can do. Easy. What's going on, bro? Love your work. Looking for a super stack for weight loss for stubborn belly fat. Can you elaborate on the best stack? I'm thinking about L-carnitine 1 gram every other day. What else could I add in the addition to keto? Okay, so you do a ketogenic diet, retro-2-tide, 1 milligram 3 times per week, injectable L-carnitine 500 milligrams per day, 750 micrograms LCU-PP332, 1 milligram MOD-C, even though that will help less than the SLU-PP332, mirabegron, or clenbuterol, or ribosine, or a combination thereof, or albuterol instead of the clenbuterol, or ephedrine instead of the clenbuterol or the albuterol to activate the beta-2 adrenergic receptor. So what you need to do is watch the stubborn body fat video. where I discuss all of this at length. Stubborn body fat. Just type in stubborn and you'll get it. And I discuss all of this in great detail. Thanks for the $20 though. This will sound like an odd one, but what compounds or peptides work well at reducing or eliminating seborrheic dermatitis or psoriasis? All the best. I have no idea. I have no idea. I'm not familiar with these skin conditions, so I could throw BPC 157 KPV, TB 500, and GHK copper at you, but I don't know if that will work. I really don't know. I'll miss the Q&As. Maybe I'll do it monthly and answer questions ranked by donation amount. Yeah, I wish I wish Live StreamYard would offer that option, but they can't, so I just have to scroll through everything. I for now I can't commit to monthly even. And you guys let me know what you want me to do with the memberships, because we got 150 members that pay $10 a month to get their questions rolled up and answered, which I've been honoring since the beginning, even though some of the questions are dumb. But so, I have to scold you a little bit. But if I'm not going to do the Q&A, then obviously I need to cancel the membership. So let me know how you feel about that. I'll make a pinned comment at the bottom and I'll post it on Instagram. Unfortunately, I can't message any of you that are members here. That's not how YouTube works. But I could keep it if you guys want to keep supporting the channel for whatever reason, or you want to give me $10 for doing nothing, basically. Or I could just cancel all the memberships and then everybody loses their membership, but also the duration of time, maybe. Yeah, because the only reason I can cancel the membership is by removing that membership tier of Vigorous Q&A VIP. And then everybody loses their badges of 23 months or 18 months or 15 months. So let me know how you feel about that, because there's multiple options we can do. Is 1200, 1300 total T okay for long-term TRT? Yeah, I think so. But when you're 60, 70, 80 years old, you might want to bring that down to 500 to 700. Depends on how you feel and how you live your life. Drew Vogel, I'm on low milligrams guy. I'm a hyper responder with steroids in general. I'm on 400 milligrams test and 70 milligrams strength a week, 100 milligrams Parabolan. I want to run MENT as well. How much MENT should I run in a week? This cycle, 100 milligrams. Start there, see how you like it. At most, I ran 150 milligrams. I only ran MENT once. I did it with 500 test, 500 DECA, and 150 MENT, and then 200 Anadrol and 210 milligrams YK11. That was one hell of a cycle. Yeah. So I would start with 100 MENT and then build your way up as needed. CRP went from 0.7 to 23. Sounds like somebody took epicatogen also. What blood test can I do to understand why? You can't. There's no other blood test. CRP goes up. You need to find the root cause, what caused it. And it's probably the synthetic carrier oils or epicatogen or dietary problems. It did not change anything. 300 tests, 8 IU's growth hormone, 1500 IU's ATG, 50 milligrams aromasin a week. Could be a food thing then, food allergy. Maybe you have cancer. Those send your CRP sky high. I don't know. If you change your food sources, if there's a lot of pollution where you live, you started smoking and vaping and smoking cigars the day before blood work. I mean, there's so many things that could change your CRP levels this dramatically. So, and unfortunately, you could check your homocysteine levels and ferritin levels, which are other markers for inflammation, and then you're none the wiser what it caused. So, no, unfortunately, this is what you have to work with. You just have to find a cause to bring it down. Like when I did the epicatogen experiment, my CRP was 21.8 on a sensitive test. So imagine if it was regular, it was like 50 probably. Because I didn't change any variables, it's like, okay, this must be the epicatogen. I took it out, and a week later it was like 2.5. So it came down really, really fast because I knew exactly what the root cause was. I just answered this, bro. Castles, you mentioned before in a previous life that HCG aromatizes. No. HCG stimulates testosterone production in the testicles, and this intratesticular testosterone aromatizes in the testicles, and then the estradiol comes out of the testicles. EQ, would it affect aromatization from HCG? Yeah, I hope you understand it. Do you have an explanation why EQ doesn't aromatize in the balls? I think you don't understand how aromatization works. You have aromatase enzymes, which are predominantly present in adipose tissue. If you take testosterone, you inject that, it circles through the body. Eventually, it ends up in adipose tissue where it aromatizes into estradiol, unless there's an aromatase inhibitor in place, like Arimidex, or Aromacin, or Letrozole, or Boldenone, or some of its metabolites, or Primo, or some of its metabolites, or Mastrone, or some of its metabolites, or Proviron, or some of its metabolites. And then there's a boatload of other compounds like metformin and zinc and Cialis, which all modulate aromatase enzyme expression in adipose tissue and might lower estradiol through that way. So HCG doesn't aromatize. HCG is a peptide, stimulates testosterone synthesis in the testicles. In the testicles are aromatase enzymes, which convert the intratesticular testosterone being stimulated by human chorionic gonadotropin into estradiol, and then that leaks out of the testicles into the bloodstream, just like the testicles or the testosterone does, which then further aromatizes in adipose tissue and other tissues of the body, but predominantly in adipose tissue. So if you take EQ, no, it wouldn't matter if it the estradiol that comes out of your testicles would not be affected by the EQ, but the testosterone, which would convert in the adipose tissue, can be affected by the boldenone, because the boldenone or some of its metabolites can inhibit the aromatase enzymes in adipose tissue, and thus the testosterone will not convert. I hope it makes sense. But you need to read up into your biology a little bit, because poorly formulated question. Thoughts on a myostatin inhibitor getting FDA approval for clinical trials this year? I've not looked into that. So, don't know. I don't know. I'll look into it. But from all of the myostatin inhibitors that I reviewed in the myostatin inhibitor video, I was not impressed. And again, if it would work, everybody would be running it, man. And dude, I'm running the injectable YK11 now, and I took epicatogen. Were my results that dramatic? No. No. You know what lowers myostatin? Training. You know what increases follistatin levels? Training. You know what increases brain-derived neurotropic factor levels? Training. So just go to the gym. Don't worry about these drugs. And if it gets FDA approved, you'll probably not be able to afford it, because it sounds like a $200 per pill kind of medication. If everybody stays a member after this Q&A, you may or not win a cookie. Unfortunately, with YouTube, you can't contact any of the members, right, to show some love and appreciation, because some of these guys were like members for, well, you were a member for 25 months. I mean, if anybody deserves a cookie, it's you, Alvaro, because you've done timestamps for all of the Q&As for these last 25 months. So, well, you're getting rewarded, royally. So, yeah. Yeah, I don't know what to do, man. Like, guys, let me know in the comment section, and otherwise, I'll just in a couple days I'll delete that VIP, and then then, because I would like to do once a month, but I don't even think it's realistic, man. And again, I really want my Saturday back. I just want my Saturday where I just focus on me for a change. Is that too much to fucking ask? Oh, welcome to the Vigorous crew, Bobby. Unfortunately, you will lose your membership in like 1 hour. 4 milligrams weekly or for 8 weeks, Nandrolone NPP. Good. Sure, man. For $2, fucking good. Holy shit, so good makes me hard. Oh, can't get any harder than this. Your resistance makes my penis harder. 4chan memes. 4chan memes. How long should one wait to pull blood work after an aggressive 4-week minicut, 27% caloric drop, to get an accurate IGF-1 value, since carb intake, insulin level, surplus, etc. all affected? I would say 1 week of normal eating. Yeah, 1 week. So you start you do your aggressive mini cut, you reverse diet, and then you check your IGF-1 levels, insulin levels on blood work. That's what you're asking here, right? 'Cause you get bigger every week, man. Kratos is a resident freak. Look at that fucking thumbnail. Resistance make me harder. Resistance is futile. Need more Trekkies. Ah, still made it to the end of the chat. Thank God. Thank you, bro. My pleasure. Let's see. Are there some people HCG just doesn't work well for? Yeah, there's some people who don't respond to it. They might have a varicose seal or some sort of polymorphism, or their HCG is fake. That's you. HCG doesn't work. That's because your HCG is fucking bunk. You know, HCG is fucking bunk, man. You just need to go to Merck Ovitril. Speaking of 4chan, did you learn anything useful from back in the day from Fit? No, I was out of 4chan by the time Fit came around. I was in B. You know, you're young and dumb, and you go to B, and you have all these silly conversations with people. But Fit wasn't around when I was on 4chan, man. I was there since like 2 mil, 3 mil get, like 4 million posts. That's when I was there. So that's ages ago. Nadia Hematocrit, 50.4%, and now I'm on 400 tests, 53.6%, doing daily cardio, telmisartan, and hydrate before bloods. Is this a concern? Or does it mean no IQ for me? Yeah, it could be that you have sleep apnea, or you're just very erythropoietic and you produce a lot of red blood cell count, or a lot of red blood cells. Look into nattokinase, serrapeptase, and luminokinase, which will help break down older red blood cells and keep your red blood cell count in range. And then you could always switch from telmisartan to 2.5 milligrams of enalapril, which is also a blood pressure medication, but it's not a angiotensin receptor blocker, but it's an angiotensin converting enzyme inhibitor. 2.5 milligrams enalapril might not be sufficient to lower your blood pressure. Keep that in range, but it will be more than enough to bring your hematocrit down. But I would rather try nattokinase, serrapeptase, and luminokinase at... watch one of the videos where I discuss my blood work, and then you can see that listed on the screen. It will only drop next week. I just can't remember off the top of my head. It's maybe like 2000 FUs. What does it stand for? Functional units? I don't know. Watch next week. Watch the YK11 video. You know, they'll discuss, or they'll be on the screen what I run, and that keeps my hematocrit quite in range. Is there anything that scares you about becoming a dad? Every man can be a father, but not many can be a dad. Just a thought. No, I've been wanting to be a dad for 10 years, but we were not in a financial position. I wanted to be a dad since I met my wife, man. It's you know, she wanted to wait a little bit and compete and all that stuff, and I was not in a financial, yeah, fibrinolytic units, not a kinase. My bad. Thank you. So she wanted to compete, right? She wanted to get that out of her system. Where's your question, Lucas? So, and we wanted to travel, and I wanted to be financially secure. Now, I reached financial security, say 35 years old, where you can just, what I mean with financial security is you can buy everything you want to without thinking about it. Now, can I buy a private yacht? No. That I would have to think about, but I also don't want a private yacht, right? Can I buy a sports car? Sure. Can I buy a Lamborghini? Sure. Can I buy, you know, I can buy basically whatever I want, but not a yacht or you know, an airplane. Not that I want. I can buy a house cash. You can buy these cars cash. I don't need to put anything on credit. So I wanted to reach that point first because my parents, they were doing okay. Like my dad was a business consultant. My mom is a teacher. And a combined salary of maybe 15,000 euros a month before taxes. And that's pretty good at that time, you know. But it's if you really want to open doors for your kids, I don't think it's enough. So I wanted to make at least 25K a month. And that happened years ago. I don't know, it's coaching people. It's very easy to make $25,000 a month coaching people. It's super easy if you're good at what you're doing. So I wanted to reach that financial security. And then, of course, as I read, and I had some money saved in the bank, and I read that reached that financial security where you just got money coming in and you can never spend it unless you have kids, and you just put like fucking 50%, fucking 75% in the savings account, which accumulates in the form of cryptocurrency and stock and that kind of stuff. So I've been doing that for a long time, and then at one point you're like, yeah, okay, it's enough. Fuck it, it's more than enough. I could never finish it myself. So but then my wife was still competing at that time, so she wanted to get that out of her system. We wanted to travel the world. We've been to America, Dubai, Europe, Thailand, obviously, all over Thailand, Japan, Mongolia, China, fucking Hong Kong. Dude, we've been fucking every Bali a couple times. All the good places we've already seen. So we got that out of her system, and then by the time you realize like I want to have kids, and then you're 40 and you've took steroids for a long time. The wife is a little bit older, and then you have to go through the IVF process. And now we're talking about a process of like 1 to 2 years. So now it's almost going to happen, and I can't fucking wait, dude. I'm so fucking excited. I'm so fucking excited for this period because it's going to be something new. I've already proven to myself that I can make money. So, and the money is keep flowing in. So I have zero fucking worries about that. I have zero fucking worries. I don't need to stress. And I coached bodybuilders who are basically like children. Let's be fucking honest here, Lucas. You know this. You're a bodybuilder. Bodybuilders are like fucking kids. They're needy as fuck, dude. They're insecure. They're indecisive. Oh my god. Can I have 15 grams more rice? Can I have this condiment with my rice? This kind of shit. I've done that for 15 years. So how much more difficult can it be to raise a child, man? I don't think it's going to be easy. And I'm sure it will have some roadblocks, but I want to be a fucking cool dad. And literally, if my kids need me to be there 24/7, I can. Because I have the financial backing. I don't need to fucking work. I don't. It feels so good after fucking decades of grinding. Let's say when I reach about 40 years old, I just realized like it doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't make a drop in the bucket anymore. It's you acquire extra money and it doesn't fucking matter. So I could again. I'm at a point where I can just kick back and do father stuff all day fucking long. Will I go mental? I'm sure. That's why I still want to make videos, and because I do that, partially for me as well, because it's just a good opportunity to research, give back to the community, because I got a lot from bodybuilding. I grew so much from bodybuilding, so I feel it's only fair to keep giving back. So I'm not going to disappear entirely; it's just going to be less, because my priorities change, right? And my priority now is my priority was to be financially secure. Okay, tackled that. And another priority was to be the best fucking husband. I think I fucking tackled that. We're still together after 10 years, kicking ass and chewing bubble gum, and so we're doing well there. And then the new priority is just being the best fucking father I can be, best fucking dad, and just be there all the time. Unlike my parents, because they had to work or they had an excuse that they couldn't afford it, right? I want to go to Disneyland. I can't afford it. Really? Yeah, but my parents were alcoholics, so they spent their money on alcohol and that kind of stuff. A little bit of resentment there, right? And I can't say that because I get most of my drugs for free, right? Because I generate sales. So if my kids want to go to Disneyland, I'll do the VIP package. I will not be standing in line like I did when I was young, standing in line for 2 hours. Standing in line for 2 hours for 90-second ride. No, man. I'm in a point where I can take my kids to Disneyland. And you want to do the Tron ride 4 times in a row? Sure. Let's fucking go. And you see everybody just frustrated. Said, hey, man, I put in my time, man. I lived like on a fucking budget for 25 years. put all my money away, and now it's time to spend it with my kids. So you want to go to Epic Universe? Sure. You want to do the group VIP? No, I want to do the private VIP. I already looked at this. Like $1,100 per person, 5-person minimum. So it's cost like $5,500 for one day. It's fucking insane, super expensive. But you don't have to wait. Why? If you go all the way to America, you go to Epic Universe, Universal Studio. We're going into a complete rant territory again. My sincere apologies. But you go all the way from Thailand, assuming we still live there. When they're 5, 6 years old, you go to Epic Universe. I don't want to wait in line. Fuck that, man. I'm gonna get a nice hotel next to Epic Universe or Universal Studios. I'm gonna get the private VIP tour. Have them drive me around in a doom buggy or one of those carts, and then golf carts if they cost extra. Fine. I did very well with crypto, and I could just blow money on bullshit like that once in a while. I'd rather spend doing that kind of stuff with my kids, like get all these cool experiences and go to places and enrich their lives than spend, I don't know, $1 million in a sports car. Who the fuck cares about that, man? Fuck. Oh, I'm a hurricane. Fuck, man. No. No, nice hotel. VIP tour at Disneyland. All right, so I'm super excited. I can't fucking wait. We got a couple weeks left. We had an epic fucking holiday in Bali. That was the last kidless holiday, and then after that, it will just be daddy time, man. And I'll give my kids the best fucking childhood they'll ever have. They will not have any fucking resentment like I do for my own parents for missing out and being fucking alcoholics and making all kinds of mistakes even up until now. I still love them, don't get me wrong, but I could have done a lot fucking better, man. And hey, I still turned out all right, somewhat. All right, next one. Love ranting. Thanks for all the great content, man. Bump up the price for the Q&A memberships and go to once a month. We will pay. Yeah, I know. But I'm not sure if I can commit to once a month. Like the next month, it's basically fully booked, and well, then it's any day now, any time now. So no, man, I don't want to take you guys' money if I can't offer something in return. So I'll probably just either make a big announcement that hey, the Q&A will be stopped, or I'll just cancel all the memberships and then make that decision for you guys. And then if you want to send me some money, just to schedule a consultation, do it that way. Would like to continue with the memberships. Always good to see the badges. Yeah, so that's the only problem, right? You'll lose the fucking membership badges, and the knowledge you're putting forward and worth the support. Maybe pop in for a live stream every now and then when you want. Yeah, so but I know. I think the first 3 months of having a daughter, I just either don't want to or don't have time. You know, and the next month is planned ahead. And honestly, I just want my Saturday back. I've been doing this for 5 years now with a 1 year break, and at one point, enough is enough. Enough is enough. I think I gave back a lot. And otherwise, it will just have to be on a forum, something like where I can just do it anytime. But these live streams, it's I just don't know how to fit it into my schedule with all the stuff that I got coming up, man. It's like, dude, I still need to build a baby room. I need to get my driver's license. I need to practice how to drive motorbike, shift gears. So I don't destroy that boxer engine of the BMW. I need to, like, I have these cupboards here that they've been laying here for 6 months, dude. Fucking cupboards that I need to hang. So 6 months, because there's always work to do, and I need to free up time and just go to a 9 to 5. So, and that means that things like this I have to discontinue and just make less videos. Instead of hiding behind work, I just have to do the things that I need to do as a husband and a father, and that's more important to me than you know getting a little bit more money from members. Which, again, I don't need more money. It's I need more time. I definitely do not need more money. Not with my boring lifestyle of going to the gym and eating some nice food once in a week. And I don't care about material possessions. I mean, I've been wearing the same fucking boring shirt for 5 years now. I had the same fucking well, it's already in the laundry, but that shirt, right, that I wear for all the videos, whether I'm big or small, I wear the same shit, man. I just don't give a fuck. Don't give a fuck. All right, sorry. Will, any benefits to running the Bivol before a hard leg day over telmisartan to avoid heart enlargement? If yes, what's the best administration protocol? I don't know. I would just take it every day because if you have a hard leg day, you also have a hard back day and a hard chest day, and that also sends your heart rate sky high. So if you're really worried about heart enlargement and you need more beta blockade and blood pressure management, then you run both 5 milligrams Bivol and maybe 20 to 40 milligrams telmisartan, and that should avoid heart enlargement more than taking the Bivol occasionally and telmisartan daily. That's what I did when I every time I blast my socks off when I was 120 kilos, I took Nabivol and telmisartan at the same time, and and my heart was generous, but not too big. Lucas, really appreciate your response and wish you and your wife all the best. It's definitely going to be something new. Good stuff, man. Yeah, I can't wait, dude. Can you run 10 milligrams of methylene blue indefinitely? There's no scientific evidence to support that, but based on anecdotal reports, I would say you can run that for a pretty long time. Yeah. So, but you'll be a guinea pig just like I am. Drew Vogel, I'm happy for you. Having kids is awesome, especially when you get to act like a kid again. Yeah, can't wait for that. I have a son, and we go skateboarding, go karting. It's awesome. Very happy for you. Yeah, I can't wait for that, dude. Even if it's playing with Barbies and that kind of stuff, it's gonna be a lot of fun. Be present and do stuff together, even if it's a bit weird and boring. Just be present, be a good dad. Right? You chose to put this life on the planet, and now you got to see it through. Just like marriage. You decided to get fucking married. Now you got to see it through. Any chance to get a DD on peptide allergies? What? I don't know what you mean. Got to do Disneyland. You definitely enjoy Universal. Yeah, I've been to Disneyland and Universal. Universal Japan and Disneyland Paris, Disneyland LA, Disney World Florida, Disneyland Sea Japan. I haven't been to Hong Kong or China, but hey, it's closer than the US, so we might do a test run there first. Great rides. Can't wait to have memories like that with my future kids. Happy for you. Yeah, so I went with my parents when we were. Uh, that was actually a good holiday. It was like 2 days at Disneyland. We stayed at one of the hotels. I think it was after my dad got one of those fat bonuses for finishing a project early. And then we drove from Holland to Disneyland Paris. And then we stayed in a hotel, Disney, official Disney hotel. And then we went to the park for 2 days in a row, I think. It was absolutely fantastic. No fast passes, though. I don't think those existed. Because I do remember standing in line for like 2 hours straight just to watch, that Michael Jackson 3D video with the little, I don't know, fucking doll, something like that, and Space Mountain. And then you go through it, and you're like, oh, this is a great roller coaster, but I didn't see shit. um, so yeah, and we went to the Efteling a lot. That's basically the best theme park in Holland. Efteling, it's a lot of fun. I love theme parks, man. It's I love theme parks. You can't fit in a Huracan anyway. Yes, I can, man. I've sat in a Huracan a couple times. Corvette, those are a bit small. Chad, no questions. Just want to say congratulations. Thank you. Is that congratulations for my daughter being born soon, or congratulations for not being able to do the figures Q&A? Let's do it for both. Yeah. Will we ever go Q&A without an Anavar only cycle? No, man. It will never happen. Well, this is the last one. You deserve some time off. Enjoy the next chapter. Thank you. Thank you. Liam, that BMW is a lot of bike. Enjoy it, man. Stay safe. I just got a 206 Yamaha FC1. Which one was that? Oh, yeah, that's a nice one. Yeah, it's a bit too naked for me. Yeah, the BMW is something else, man. It feels like it's even bigger than a jet ski. It's just, I remember I wanted to get a BMW C400 GT. That's like just the scooter, basically, but 400 cc's. Why the fuck not? And then I sat on it at a car show. And I was like, "This is it. This bike fucking sucks." My wife was laughing. Yeah, but you wanted to buy this one for 6 months. I said, "Yeah, no, I've been fantasizing about it." You go to the car show, And then you sit on it. I'm like, this bike fucking sucks. Let's give that one a try. And then I went on the R1250 RT and I sat on it, and it perfect, you know? It's big and thick and masculine. And then and the white black color is so nice. I said, you know what? I'm gonna buy this one. My wife was mortified. So yeah, I already paid in full. You want to pay a deposit? No. I don't do the. We can do installments. No. Just transfer the whole thing on the spot. 3 more weeks. Jesus, $100 for a drug question. All right, here we go. Cutting fat, rebuilding muscle after 1 year off depression. Now, Richard 1 milligram per week, LGD 2.5 milligrams per day, regular HBOT longevity. What's that? For $100, I'll put in the hyperbaric oxygen therapy. All right. Eyeing plasmid follistatin gene therapy. Don't do it. It's a waste of money. It's an absolute waste of money. 500 calorie deficit plus muscle memory is helping. Any recommendations to keep strength gains and momentum? Added some testosterone, man, and replace the LGD for Anavar, because LGD is fucking gay. There's no scientific evidence on humans, or very limited. Anavar has scientific evidence of plenty. You're taking a retroglutide, so you're in a caloric deficit, so you definitely need some testosterone and Anavar. And testosterone has antidepressive properties, man. And if you take LGD and it's shutting down your HPTA, then your testosterone and estradiol is even lower, and now you sink further into depression. So I look at the fluvoxamine. It made the world of difference for me, or at least methylene blue, 10 milligrams per day, because 10 milligrams or 5 milligrams of methylene blue is very close to the scientifically proven dose of 15 milligrams per day, where it was shown to reduce depression and anxiety. I mentioned it in methylene blue deep dive. So if you take 10 milligrams methylene blue, I think it will resolve depression or symptoms of depression already quite a bit. And then and testosterone is the best antidepressive compound you can take, man. And if you're already taking LGD, you're not adverse to, and you're not adverse to injecting from the retroglutide. The follistatin gene therapy is what, $25,000? Put that $25,000 in Bitcoin. Even now, it's not too late. The Asia and blow it on hookers. You'll have a better, you have either way, the Bitcoin or the hookers. You'll have a much better outcome than this follistatin gene therapy. I looked into it. I talked to people who've done it. It doesn't fucking work. It does not fucking work. And for $25,000, dude, that follistatin gene therapy should give you a blowjob every single day, and a reach it around and a rim job at the same time, which it doesn't. So no, if you want to build muscle, steroids, a little bit of retroglutide to keep your appetite under control when you're cutting fat. And so you go on 150 to 200 milligrams testosterone, maybe 5 to 10 milligrams Anavar, and keep your strength and your momentum going by taking a little bit of TRT and methylene blue, and then look into fluvoxamine. I have deep dives on all this shit. So, Ben, welcome back. Fuck depression. I've been there. It fucking sucks. But, with the right mindset and the right diet and the right momentum, you can fix all that shit. And then if you're still like 90% there, then fluvoxamine will put you over the edge, man. Man, I should have started that when I was 16 years old. So I could have dealt with all those divorces and the fucking drama. Not my divorce, my parents' divorce. Man, that was rough. Yeah, that was rough. Any plan to incorporate more Trestolone in your future cycles, or are you sticking to your test primo? No, actually, I want to put Trestolone in there, and I just don't know when, because this follistatin, like I'm so fucking sore now from the YK11, and I'm getting close to a D-lot. Like I'm strong as fuck, obviously hitting PRs, but it also drains my mental capacity. And I got about 2 weeks left on this follistatin 344 experiment. And then AP wanted me to run the Ngenla experiment for at least a month, so I can kind of discuss that, because I'm sure it will generate some sales if I like it, and if I give it my blessing. Um, but I'm pretty close to getting a cruise. And again, by the time the Ngenla experiment ends, my daughter is here, and I don't know if I can commit to like 500 tests, 500 DECA, and 150 mint. Even that was a great cycle, by the way. Okay, it was a little bit watery, but it was a great cycle. I was in a good mood. It was strong. Joints felt very lubricated. Now everything is starting to feel a little bit squeaky again, but not as bad as I expected. Honestly, I did not get any of the elbow pain or knee pain that people report. But my estradiol did not drop as much as I expected either. So keeping your estradiol high on injectable YK11 is key. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to add the Testosterone back in. I got about 35 milliliters left. I'm not gonna let that sit there, bro. Eventually, we'll get used. Did you take a look at my question? Just send it over, man. I don't see your question. You're a member. But if you use a word that's in the spam filter, then I don't see it. So keep trying. You got 30 minutes left, and then I'm going to throw in the towel. You're probably using a word that's in the spam filter. Because people are fucking cunts. Yeah, rephrase it. Steve, do you actually enjoy doing daily fasted cardio? I find it therapeutic and calming. Yeah, I enjoy it. Yeah, sometimes I don't feel like it, and then I'll just scroll my phone, look for something to watch, and then I'll get through it, man. It's there's things you enjoy to do and things you have to do, right? That's what it means to be a fucking adult. So sometimes you don't feel like doing it, and then you still do it. Like this Q. Sometimes I really didn't feel like doing this Q&A, but I still sat here for 2.5 hours answering questions like a fucking adult. Yeah, sometimes I lost my mind a little bit, got a little bit irritated, a little bit upset. And hey, man, I'm only human. And again, Anavar only cycles every single week, or MK6 every single week. What do you expect was going to happen, right? I'm going to just keep my cool. Like, I'm not Chase Irons, man. That guy's so chill. I wish I could have his genetics, but I'm a fucking hardhead, man. Sometimes it shit gets to me. Uh, blue collar bodybuilding. What's up, brother? Hope all is well. Looks like you got a little bit of a tan. Yeah, I got a little bit of a tan in Bali. It was better about a week ago, and now everything is kind of falling off. So you see like all these little, you see all these little fucking scales. And look at these fucking, what the hell? It's all falling off. Whoosh. See this fucking double? I got shredded, bro. Yeah. Ooh. Almost, almost. Like when this is in, then you're really, really lean. This is not in yet. This is no striations. Too bad. Yeah, I got a little bit of tan. That's gonna go away soon. I need my white privilege back. Also, jokes you can't make in 2025. Everybody's so fucking butthurt. You know what I noticed? Like in, do you guys see that last episode from Food Abiat, where they're discussing about, how the comment section responds? They got a little bit upset, especially James. I think with the growth of the fitness industry, the negatively has grown exponentially. Like the amount of shit that people in the fitness industry get. And I give people shit too sometimes, but I don't think it's as bad as some of the reaction channels. Like Greg Duchette just shits on everybody. It's absolutely atrocious. It's despicable. Um, but you see it in the comment section, and I think it's getting worse. I think in the comments, I see it in my own comment section. Maybe that's in the growth of this YouTube channel, but I see it in my comment section and other people's comment section that the negativity is getting worse. And I'm not sure if that's coming from the recession, that people are financially not doing so well and they're stressed from the tariffs and all that stuff, and they feel I have nowhere to go, so they need to vent in the comment section. But it just shows weakness, in my opinion. Right? You're not in control of your life. You're not mastering what you need to be doing. And I understand that not everybody can control their situation and enjoy life even when there's a recession. But it is kind of sad to see, that this whole fitness industry is just turning so goddamn negative to the point nobody really wants to read their comments or interact with people. Because when you go to the expos, everybody's super cool, But I feel that some people just don't even want to go to the expos anymore. Or, well, I know people don't want to go to the expos anymore because of the comments. And they're like, why would I stand there all day interacting with people when they're just shit talking all the fucking time, even though it doesn't really happen. It turns people off, So, oh well, another rant. Sorry. I watched the HCG deep dive, bro. Come on, Robbie. Watch the HCG deep dive. Everything's explained there. Brother just turned 18 and man, I'm not looking forward to his pub crawl. At least it's not on my tab. Hey man, enjoy yourself. Take your little brother out. He's 18 years old. It's his day. It's not your day. Iron Grid, shut the fuck up, man. I wish I had a little brother to go. Well, I have a little brother, but he's far away in a galaxy, far, far away. He's not here. He's in Holland. Um, so yeah, but if it's his birthday, take him out, man. Get him fucking wasted. Make him puke all over the place. Right? It's hazing time. Make sure he talks to a little bit of girls before he gets shit faced drunk. Because if he comes home without phone numbers, then you might have to take him to the gay bar the next time. Just dropping a like. Thanks, Steve. Yay. And have how many likes would we get this time? Was it any better than previous? Let me see. Let's see. Let's see. Oh. Uh, 181. Well, I did my part. Niels, greetings from Holland. I'm thinking to go to Thailand for a vacation. Where do you recommend to go? What do you want? Do you want beaches? Do you want mountains? Do you want elephants? Do you want prostitution? Do you want massage? I mean, Thailand has it all. Thailand has it all, man. So you can literally do whatever you want in Thailand and not get bored. You want to drive golf carts in some sort of national park? You can. You want to go to a wheat farm? You can. You want to hang out with other Dutch people? You can. So, where I would want to go, if you're coming from Holland, go to Lava and El Gaucho for good steaks. Lava and El Gaucho. Lava Grill, El Gaucho for good steaks. You'll never be able to eat a steak in Holland, not even in Amsterdam, at the Argentinian steak restaurants. Those are fucking trash compared to the ones in Thailand. You should pass through a Soy Cowboy in Nana Plaza at least once. Right? Now look at the entertainment a little bit. Bring some money. Stay in a nice hotel for a couple nights. Just enjoy the hotel because Holland doesn't really have nice hotels. And if it does have nice hotels, it's very expensive. So stay in a nice $300 hotel for 2 nights. Don't leave the room. Order room service. Pre-swipe on Tinder so you can get some girls over, and otherwise you get some fucking prostitutes over. Nobody's gonna know. You just don't tell anybody, and you fuck them silly in every corner of the hotel room, and you maximize your fucking floor space. Or swipe some girls on Tinder, whatever. It doesn't fucking matter, man. Just make sure you maximize the time here. And then after a week of that debauchery and crazy shit in Bangkok, you go to a beach town. You can go to Koh Phi Phi, you can go to Phuket, you can go to Koh Chang, you can even go to Cambodia. It depends on how long you're here and how much money you have. But sky's the limit, man. You can do everything here. Thailand is great. Remember, in the past, 2.4 IU's growth hormone got some carpal tunnel symptoms, although manageable. You mentioned adding IGF-1 L3 and GHK copper on top of that to compensate for not being able to raise growth hormone more. I think you should manage your carpal tunnel with taurine and electrolytes. I think 5,000 milligrams taurine per day and increasing your potassium intake will help deal with the carpal tunnel syndrome. And otherwise, you add in IGF-1 LR3. GHK copper is just for collagen synthesis. Don't expect too much for that. But yeah, if you can't reach more than 2-3 IU's growth hormone, then yeah, add in IGF-1 LR3 at 200 micrograms to 1 milligram per day. People always say, yeah, I have 50 micrograms. No, man. Whole vials. Take a whole fucking vial per day. That's how you really grow. So you rated IGF-1 LR3 pretty low on the peptide list. D tier is worth taking. Yeah, so if you really increase the dose, it becomes A tier or B tier. But most people just can't afford $70 per day. That's why Increlex is way cheaper, man. You know, if you get it for a good price, like $700, 700 divided by 40 is $18 per milligram. And IGF-1 LR3 is like $50 to $60 per milligram. So IGF Increlex is way cheaper. Increlex is way cheaper. But yeah, it's not easy to find. I can only get it here locally. I don't know any online sources that carry it. Although AP said he might be able to host it. But you didn't hear that from me. You did not hear that from me. So yeah, the IGF-1, it's just we're rated low because people don't run it high enough. But if you run it 1 milligram per day for a month, then you'll get effects and your wallet will be drained. That's just the bad side of it. All right, I'm gonna go do a quick bathroom break, and then we'll come back. A second, guys. Drank a whole fucking bottle of water already. All right. Where are we? Hotwire, just want to say thank you. Oh, I think you're going to be an amazing father. I'm so happy for you and your wife. Congratulations. Thank you for helping me get started on my ISL UPP 332 and Retro to Die Journey Week 3. Okay, thank you. I'm happy to hear that it's helping already. And at one point, we'll be sitting here with a baby. It's going to be fun. Steve, is it okay to visit Thailand on a tourist visa and stay for 2 months and extend the period? Moving with my girlfriend and working from Thailand with my Swedish company. Yeah, you should be able to do that. Just keep in mind that I think they just changed from 60 days to 30 days, and you can only extend your 30 days one time. So if the 60 days is no longer available, it's probably better to go through the Thai consulate or immigration and get a couple tourist visas in advance, which last 60 days, which you can then extend with 30 days for a total of 90 days. And if you want to stay any longer, just get the DTV visa. Then you can stay 18 or 180 days. Yeah. But look into the options, man. They keep changing. I'm on a marriage visa. I just got it extended. So I just show up once per year, show that I have 400,000 baht in the bank, which is $13,000 or something. And then I show up with my wife and some pictures and smile and why and file the paperwork. And then I'm done in 15 minutes. So, because I'm married to a Thai and then you can stay. Good stuff. If you wanted to experience most of Thailand with another person for like 2 weeks, what kind of budget would you be suggesting? 5K more, not including flights. I think you need about $500 per day to have a good time here. Yeah, so 2 weeks would be, and it's for a couple, $7,000. $5,000 is doable. Yeah. When I travel, I spend $1,000. That's always my goal. That's including the flights. So we went to Bali, flew business class. That was $9,000 in 8 days. But yeah, That's me. I could do it a lot cheaper too, but I just want to have fun and don't give a shit about spending money. But 5K is doable, man, for 2 weeks for two people. Yeah, man, very very doable. Very very doable. Yeah, so send me an email about this. That's why I removed them from the source list because their contact details are atrocious. So please contact me through the website. I'll get you sorted and make sure that they contact you and send you your orders. But that's why I removed them from the source list because their communication is just fucking atrocious the last couple of months, and I'm sick of acting as a in-betweener. But I'll make sure you get your money or your order in, and otherwise a refund. Please contact me through the website. I never used sodium valproate, and our late friend's protocol. Yeah, I don't know. He had a lot of ideas. Many of them I didn't agree with. So I have no idea, man. I have no idea if that worked. If you're 25 years old and retired, how would you personally maximize positive emotions, engagement, relationship, meaning, and achievement for the rest of your life? Travel. Find out who you really are by taking everything that you're familiar with away. Throw yourself in the deep end, man. If you're retired, if you got enough money to travel, go wherever the fuck you want to do because every day is something interesting. That's positive emotions. Relationships you can figure out. Like there's all kinds of different women all over the planet. Engagement, it's just you create your own adventure. Meaning, I mean, the meaning of life you'll find while traveling. And achievement is something you do while traveling. So when I traveled, I filmed everything, literally everything, but I never posted it on YouTube because I filmed it for me. And I got literally every experience documented on video camera. And those are all my personal experience. I never wanted to turn that into a YouTube channel, partially because I was shy, partially because there was no, monetization at that time. This is we're talking about 2010, 2011. And I just wanted to record experience for you. So I edited videos. That's how I learned editing while traveling through the world. You figure out how you live on a budget. You figure out how you live in stressful situations when you can't communicate. You figure out, how women are all over the world. You can really pick apart people in like 5 minutes, dude, after you travel for a year. So that's what I would do when you're 25. I started traveling when I was 26. I had about 50K in my account, which was more than enough to travel for like 2 years. And then I traveled for 1 year. And then I was dead tired, but I had a great experience. So travel around, man. You're young. If you're not settled down yet, just see the world. Do all kinds of cool stuff, crazy stuff. Rent motorcycles. Man, I could have died so many times while traveling. Eh? I just didn't give a fuck. I didn't give a fuck, man. Oh, I did not give a fuck when I was traveling. It was great. Every day you wake up, you're like, today I'm gonna do this. Today I'm gonna go to Halong Bay. Tomorrow I'm gonna go to Rice Terraces in Sapa. Today I'm gonna take a train to Ninh Bình, and then that's just Vietnam. This is a little part of Vietnam where you have all this cool stuff to do. Fucking fuck, man. Traveling is the best. Go do it. You won't regret it. You can go to South America. You can go to Asia. You can, you know, and then occasionally you treat yourself for a nice hotel, man. If you're retired, you got enough money. Um, treat yourself to a nice hotel. That's what I did also. Just treat yourself. You don't always have to do the backpacking bullshit. Lost many friends on motorcycles. Have a Yamaha R6 myself, and despite the immense danger, there's almost nothing like it. Yeah, there's nothing like motorbikes, man. You just don't drive too fast. It's, I mean, the motorbike obviously wants you to drive fast. That's what it's built for. But on a public road, like if you want to drive fast, just go to the track. You know, I never went more than 120 on a motorbike. That's kilometers per hour, not miles. Because and because the roads just don't facilitate it. And then of course if you go to the track, you can go 160 if you want, but then you wear a whole suit and you got the when you slide out with the pebbles and shit. That's more safe than doing it on the highway, where and especially here in Thailand, Thai people don't know how to fucking drive, man. It's a fact. It's just Thailand is the worst or the highest traffic accidents in the world, I think, especially around Songkran. Um, no, and it can be dangerous. Yeah. So, but that's why you got to keep your wits about it. And I remember when I was dieting very, very hard, you're like 6% body fat. I would take a taxi. I would not drive a motorbike because you're just impaired. Basically, you're impaired. Not don't drink, don't drive and drink, or drink and drive, and don't drive while you're dieting. Just take a taxi. Oh boy, my bike will push you 160 miles per hour. The top end super sports bike are made. Yeah, that's what they're made for. But do it at the track, and then wear a full suit with a proper helmet. You know, but on the public roads, you just go 80. It sucks, but you know, if you go 80 in a car, it's still way safer than doing 80 on a motorbike. You're just a fucking dot in the rearview mirror, man. People don't see you, especially when you go fast. I mean, how many people got sideswiped? Right, you go really, really fast, and then suddenly a car pulls up because they didn't see you. You're just a fucking dot. You're like a little fly in the rear view mirror. So be careful. AI gaming official. My Thai wife won't let me own a motorcycle. Well, at least you need a little bit of a motorbike here, man, to go to the 7-Eleven to get your cookies in the middle of the night. Dirt biking on tracks are way more than enough for me. Yeah, that's a lot of fun also. But they're a little bit higher, right? Because you know you need that suspension. So I never really I like the bikes that are a little bit lower, so you can put both feet on the floor and the center. Like that's why I like the BMW because it's got a boxer engine, so that the it's down, it's not up. Right? The cylinders are down, so the center of gravity is really low, and it makes it very maneuverable. Fuck man, I can't wait to own that fucking car. Oh, bike. I can't wait. Uh, it's gonna be so much fun. All right. I think we're pretty much done for today, no? Yeah, we're done for today. All right, guys. Thanks for joining in for the Vigorous Q&A for so many years. It was a lot of fun, but now it's time to kind of focus a little bit more on family. Oh, Jesus Christ. Non-drug related question. Do you think flat bench has a place? Whatever works for you, man. Whatever works for you. It's I haven't flat benched in a very long time. And my chest is, I mean, it's not great, but it's not bad either. So, you know, do incline dumbbells, do some machines, do some flat bench, do some Smith machines, do some floor presses, do some push ups, do some flies, do some cable flies, do some whatever works, man. Whatever gives you the best back pop contraction, that's the one that you keep in. Yeah. Just wait until she's old enough to talk back. So the funny thing here is about Asia. In Asia, not like in the Western world, here in Asia, the children actually respect their parents and they don't do bullshit. So I think we'll be okay. I think we'll be okay. And otherwise, we'll see. Anyway, guys, yeah, we're going to throw in the towel for now. I'm going to go to bed. I got to drive a car tomorrow. It's going to be exciting. I haven't done that in years. So thanks for joining in for the Vigorous Q&A. Sorry, I can't do this much longer because, well, I need my Saturday back. And a kid is on the way, so I just need to spend a little bit more time with my wife before the kid is born and take care of all of the things that I've been procrastinating about because I've been focusing way too much on work when I really shouldn't because the money is more than enough. So thanks so much for joining in. Next Vigorous Q&A will be whenever I have time for it. Could be in a month from now, could be 4 months from now, could be a year from now, but eventually we'll come back. Just give me a little bit of time to sort out my shit and take care of this, you know, daddy business. And then once everything is sorted, then I'll let you guys know when the Vigorous Q&A comes back, albeit that it might be sporadic. And guys, please let me know what you want me to do with the memberships. Do you want me to cancel for you? Do you want to cancel yourself, or do you just want to keep sending the money for no benefits? I don't want to take your $10 if I'm not giving you something in return. Even though, right, I do see your memberships, and I for all the guys that posted on questions on the YouTube videos, that I make sure that I answer all of those. So maybe we can do the Q&A that way, where you're just asking on the latest video, and I'll answer your question there, albeit by text, and that's a little bit more manageable than showing up 2.5 hours here on a Saturday, which again I want to be spending with my wife. It's been 3 fucking years, okay? Give me my fucking Saturday back. All right, guys, I'll see you next time. But there will be more videos dropping soon, okay? Peace out. Enjoy your weekend. And yeah, enjoy your Saturdays. Find something else to do, please. This is not the end of the world that we're not doing this anymore. I'm sure you can download Oblivion. It's great. Oblivion is fucking great.